Okay. We are live. And we are ready to be partying into Christmas. Even though it's March. So, last time, we went through a lot. I think the most significant thing that happened was what happened with Vantaro. Not Vantaro. With Rintaro. He's still Hero and Kyoma in my heart. But Rintaro, with the guy that shot them. I don't know exactly what that's about. The fact that he called him a zombie because his guts were literally spilling out as he was leaving the car. God, that was a graphic thought. And I kind of don't... Oh god, there's an anime for this. That scene is going to be disturbing if they did that. I don't think they did, but... Probably going to do the thing they always do and it's just going to black out the gore. But regardless, a lot of things happened, but the most prominent one is we invited Dr. Leskinen and Maho Hyoji. Wow, I'm remembering names a lot better this time around. I remember how long did it take me to figure out Kiryu Moreka's name in the first game? But that was the main thing, and that's what we're gonna continue off of. The King's game. Sorry, not King's game, King game. I think it doesn't have the S after King. Which I've seen in a lot of anime, so I'm kind of interested how that's what's gonna happen. I feel like this is gonna be a fun episode, but something bad's gonna happen at the end. It just has to. But, again, episode. Why do I keep on saying episode? This is a stream, first and foremost. And this is not an anime. I mean, this is a visual novel, but you know what I meant. The other thing that we did figure out is Daru's... Another thing I'm really struggling with is either calling him Daru or Itaru. Or even Hashira, because I feel like everyone calls him an equal amount of all the names. But Tsuzuhashi calls him Daddy. But he found the thing he's working for is uncracking his own code. And Makise's laptop was the thing that he needs to crack. So he asked Okabe if he knew anything. I'm wondering if he's going to try to use... I want to call her alter ego Makise. But this is not Danganronpa. Amadeus Makise. Amadeus Kurisu, I guess. But I think we might try talking to her and trying to get information to see if she'll let us use the laptop. I don't know exactly why they need the laptop open, but it is interesting. And then the other big thing is Kagari, which is Mayuri's daughter. I really don't know where that's going to go. She looks like Kurisu, but I feel like that's not exactly what... I feel like they're giving us... I don't know about you guys, but Suzuha being Daru's daughter was pretty freaking obvious from the first game. I feel like this is kind of like a scapegoat. Like, they're trying to give you an idea because of the red hair and blue eyes. Although Makise's is more purple. But I feel like she's not gonna look like herself in the present time. Because we left her in 1998. She was about 10 years old. So that means she has to be around 22, 21. And that's assuming... Okay, another thing I'd like to point out. It said... The paper said she was 10 years old, though it wasn't sure. I'm thinking the reason why they say that is because she can also disguise her age a little bit. So, probably around the 17 to 22-year-old range is what she could be. Regardless, I am really interested to see what the story goes. We're not going to be going too long today. I did start pretty late because hot as hell in my room right now. I did not want to go live at the hot as hell room, but I'm running out of time and this room's not getting any colder. So, I'm going to go about maybe, I want to say about 2.5 hours. I might break that for 30 minutes, depending if we don't find a good stopping point. But, yeah. Continue on where we left off. Quick load, if I remember. Oh, this is, sorry. Load. I was so confused, I was like, what the fuck is this? We get Ferris Nyan Nyan. So, what's the TV remote in case I need to turn it down? I don't know. I don't think I have to turn it down. I think it's fine. Mayushi bought those so we could play the King's game tonight. Yeah. Mayushi bought them? Do you know what the King's game is? Also, it is pronounced... what? Isn't it in Japan exclusively it's called King Game, but the way they translated it to English is the King's Game? Because I tried looking up King's Game and all I got was a bunch of football stuff. When I looked up King Game, it was easier to find. Ah! Don't say that, Ferris! Hey, Mayuri. The King's Game is something you play at singles parties. I know that. I just got a little confused. Well, I love it when girls order me to do things. This is going very well, I see so far. Ashida, you really are a pervert. We're going to use these chopsticks that Mayushi was a little confused about, and use them to pick presents, yeah? Oh! Okay, so that's what we're doing. I thought we were legitimately doing the King Game. Nope, okay. There are numbers on the chopstick, you draw. That's the present you get, nyan. Well, that was a debate if I've ever had one. Hey, we're gonna be playing the King's Game next stream. Start stream. Oh, Mayushi just got confused. It's just a chopstick drawing. Sally shuffled all the chopsticks and then went around to everyone so they could draw one. It was also part of Mayuri's plan. In fact, Mayuri and Ferris were sending signals to each other with eye contact and with their fingers. While everyone was focusing on the chopsticks, they were busy relabeling Yuki and Daru's presents. I was so obvious about it, I had started getting nervous that Yuki would find out. Everybody got a chopstick, yeah? Okay, I will hand out the presents. Now opening your presents and everyone gets theirs, yeah? Really exciting, isn't it? Nay is Tanoji's daughter. I don't know what I'm going to get. There's Mayuri passed out the presents according to the numbers that everyone drew. Once the presents were handed out, everyone started to take off the wrapping paper. Naya was the first to react as she gave out a very strange cry. Inside her box was a skull face. Oh, isn't that cool? Belt buckle, Nay. If you wear it to school, I'm sure it'll make you very popular. Luca! Thank you. Luca, you terrified her. I was feeling bad for Nay, but when I took out my own present... Whose idea was this? The box had a cute design, and inside it was what looked like a see-through white veil. The veil was decorated here and there with little pink ribbons. Veil? Can't be a... Oh, you got it, Okari! And give it to Mayushi as a present! No way! They should be happy to wear it for you! Why are we talking about this? What? What's about me? What's this about me? He had heard a name and came over. What's that, I wonder? Baby doll lingerie, I figured as much. A super cute and sexy one. You can wear it for Okarin, okay? Baby doll. A type of lingerie worn by women, notable for its wide hem that fluffs out. I freaking love Mayuri when she freaks out. You know that's not happening. Then why don't you wear it yourself? Why are you blushing? I'm giving this back. You can enjoy it yourself. Push the baby doll lingerie back into Fubuki's hands. Okay, wanna exchange it for what I got? Fubuki handed me her present in exchange. Wrapping and lid had already been removed. I took a quick look inside. Sexy pink shorts and the pink bra. Yup, they were see-through. Oh, that was the present I brought. Why did you bring that, Kaede? Didn't you have brought, like, musical hairpins? A piano book? Oh, Tsuichi's favorite present, cufflinks? Could've gone with anything else. I'd love it if you had Mayuri wear it. Enjoy! They are really pushing this on us, aren't they? Is that all you people think about? She already got a present from Okarin, so I'm okay. Many had drawn my present, perhaps because we were childhood friends. By the way, I'd chosen a huge chunk of chocolate in the shape of a gold ball, kind of thing you'd find in the Donkey Zone bargain bin. I almost read that as Donkey Kong. In a Donkey Kong bargain bin. Okarin, was there really nothing else you could have gotten? Imagine if at the Nintendo store, that huge barrel that they have. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Nintendo store, but there's a big barrel that has a bunch of plugins up top. It might be funny if they, instead of being a charging station, it was actually like a bargain bin. So you could say it's a bargain barrel. Shut up! I read in a magazine that these things make hilarious party gifts. Better than your guys' lingerie. Yep. There's no way that anybody would want to get this. None. And I read yep even though that said no. Not a chance. What? Not even a chance? Magazine said it was a sure thing. Don't believe everything you read, Okabe. She's happy. The gold bar. I'm never going to get to touch another one in my life. The golden ticket for Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Can you imagine my Yuri in the chocolate factory? You're such a good girl, Mayushi. Really are a good girl. There. What is she, a cat? Begin Katie were patting Mayuri's head, half out of sympathy, but half because she was cute. Somehow I ended up as the bad guy. And now it's my turn to open. She decided to open her present. Wow! We got a cute wooden music box. When she opened the lid, there was a little tin figure that danced. Oh, it's so cute! It's wonderful. So romantic, Luca. That's so nice. Girls all seem really impressed. Luca goes a guy. Yes, thank you for that reminder. Definitely looks like something a woman would enjoy receiving. As many girls as there were coming to this party, it might have been the perfect choice. Wait, maybe I should have bought something like that. But then I realized that the idea had never even occurred to me. Whose present could this be, Nya? Ferris, you're making it too obvious. Oh, me. Father reluctantly raised his hand. The booking. Oh my! Uncle Daddy, you're amazing! Nah, he calls him Uncle now. Nice, brother. And when I said my Indian Ferris, who knew about it in advance, raised their voices in surprise. This is from you then, Hashira. What do you think? Mayushi was the one who told me to get it. Don't you frickin'! It's wonderful. Thank you. I'll treasure this. Let me guess, the music box plays the song that Suzuha hears her mother whisper. Yuki held the music box close to her chest. She seemed really happy. And her expression turned confused as she looked down into the box. Then she started to fidget. Excuse me. I need a second. Eh? He hurried off toward the washroom, still holding the box. Seeing the trick. What? According to what Mayuri had told me earlier, there was a fake letter from Naruto himself taped to the bottom of the box. Something like a love letter along with an invitation to a movie date. Wondered how she was reacting. Meanwhile, Naruto had also opened his own present, and he looked a little bothered. And given Ferris his present. So he'd opened it, he looked really happy, but now he'd gone completely silent. According to Mayuri, he was going to get a pair of movie tickets. Even though it was a present from Ferris, the tickets came with instructions to use them for a date with Yuki. Ferris responded to Naruto's question and gaze with a wink. Good luck, Nya, she seemed to be saying. For her part, Ferris received some kind of strange doll that Maho had brought at the Donkey Exote. Lukago's present was a miniature remote control helicopter that Dr. Leskinen had purchased. Of course he would purchase a helicopter! Dr. Leskinen got a set of 12 cute little crayons from me. Suzuha's present was a pair of handmade gloves. He had evidently made them himself. Put them on looking happy, but maybe a little lonely, and smiled. What kind of gloves? That's great, Suzuha. Yeah. Wait, what did you get, brother? This... But I realized he'd been set up, and he was clearly avoiding looking at her. She seemed to understand and patted him on the back with a gentle expression on her face. What's wrong with that? You'll have a good time. What? Two, Suzuha? Well, it's frustrating watching you two. But I've never been on a real date. Neither has Mom, supposedly. What? Really? Yeah. I see. Yuki came back from the bathroom. Seemed to be having trouble walking straight. Sat back in her seat and began to nervously nibble on snacks at the table. Once in a while, she would take a look at Daru. Now the movie ticket plan seemed to be going well. Staring too much could tip her off. I should probably pretend I don't know anything. Maho got the music box Mayushi brought. Mayuri raised her voice when she saw the music box in Maho's hands. It was shaped like a deformed bear, and when you wound it up, its hands and legs would jerk back and forth as it played the tune. A very different design than the one Yuki had received. Really okay for me to get something as nice as this? Here it is. Go ahead. What kind of music does it play? I want to hear. It's weird because Nate doesn't sound as young as she did in the first game. Yeah, me too. I started to wind it up. Wound it. Daddy turned off the music in the background. Wait, that was actually legitimate music playing in the background? Here we go. I took her hand off the winding key. The mechanical yet gentle sound that was unique to music boxes began to play. The lively atmosphere of the lab was replaced with a feeling of calmness and peace. We listened quietly to the sound of the music box. Mayushi really likes this song. So do I. Makes you feel all warm, right? Yeah, it does. Oh, I see. This is the song. She just stood up as if she suddenly remembered something. Yuki, don't you remember? Yuki was spacing out so hard that she started to panic when Suzuha spoke to her. And I was sick. Sing the song for me here. Oh, come to think of it. Yep, it's definitely this song. She seemed to be remembering something as her eyes narrowed. Hey, this is Mayu. What song is this? This is... He was about to speak and then... Out of nowhere, the world twisted. I moaned in pain as an incredible sense of wrongness flooded through me. The whole lab seemed to twist and fade. The happy party I had been experiencing warped and waved like a mirage. This couldn't be, no! Somewhere far away I heard something that sounded like a violent crash. I was barely able to move my eyes in the direction it came from. I saw Fubuki falling to the floor as she knocked over a table. Patty and Fairies ran over to her calling her name. But it all looked so blurred, like I was watching a movie underwater. Everything was moving so slow. The voices were getting further and further away. No matter how much I stretched out my hand, it reached no one and touched nothing. A terrible feeling as if time and space were being torn apart, and even matter itself was losing its subjectivity. This feeling, even if I didn't want to remember it, I knew what this awful feeling was. I knew it far better than I had ever wanted. This was... reading Steiner! Huh? What? Someone else? What? Oh my god. I am so glad we stopped when we did, because if we stopped there last night, I would not have stopped. If we stopped there, I would not have stopped. Language. For the first time in almost 4 months, it felt like the whole world was twisting. Who was it? Who had changed the word line? Didn't do anything. I hadn't interfered with the word. Why was the word doing this to me? Huh? Opened my eyes. Things had already taken on different colors. The word kept wavering until once again it became fixed into a single point in time. Looking at a warm, cheerful party in the lab anymore. I was outside. It was raining. Rain was falling on my face in drops so large that it hurt. The midwinter rain, freezing cold, and I could feel it sapping the strength from my body. My view stopped twisting. I was staring at the broad back of a man I didn't know. I hear the sound of many boots stomping through the mud, mingling with falling rain. The stench was terrible. The smell of sewage was so strong it hurt to breathe, and it was mixed with the awful smell of burning rubber and plastic. Where was I? What was I doing right now? Things around me had changed so much. I tried to understand the situation I was in, but my brain was having an awful time keeping up. Why does everything look so red in the back? Kamate? Sorry, it sounded like it's a kamate, which is Spanish for calm down. Almost there. Hang in there. I stopped. The rough hand patted me on the shoulder encouragingly. I see a man my age with a strong, powerful face. A face I'd never seen. I don't know him. Probably. The man was wearing the camo outfit and equipment I'd often see the self-defense force wear on the news. He was carrying an assault rifle on his shoulder. There were 7 or 8 people around me, all dressed the same. They surrounded me in a circular formation and walked forward silently as they kept a careful eye on the area around them. Are these people the self-defense force? And then I realized I was wearing the same camo uniform they wore. I'm in the SDF too? Touched my bicep to check, but there was no muscle. It was flabby and weak, unlike the others. I wasn't carrying any weapons. Then what was going on here? Like these 7 or 8 felt like these 7 or 8 tough-looking SDF guys were all guarding me. And when was I that important? So confused, I dragged myself onwards. Where was I anyway? The long path filled with dark brown mud. The walls formed a tall silhouette to the left and right. The path was filled with garbage and concrete rubble. Sometimes we had to force our way past it. Looked up past the high walls. Despite the rain, the moon in the night sky was strangely red and it lit up too bright. Thanks to the moon that we were able to walk down the path like this without flashlights. Sound. I heard a sound. The sound of water. Looked over and saw a hole opened in one of the walls. Filthy water was pouring out. The water formed dozens of little rivers that blocked our path. So that was it. This was the bottom of a river that had dried up. It looked like high walls with the river dikes. Where are we? And towards the man who had spoken to me a bit ago, and yet so that my voice could be heard over the rain. Shh! Don't make any loud noises. Oh, sorry. Almost through the city center. If you make it to Nirima Garrison, there'll be a car waiting for you. Just keep walking. But his voice cut off there. Everyone seemed more tense than ever. One of them grabbed me and pushed me towards the side of the riverbed. Everyone put their backs against the wall and held their breath. You hear the sound of a helicopter's rotors in the distance. No, more than just one. They were getting closer. I had no idea what was going on, but I could feel my heart start to beat faster. Get in the shadow of that car! Past several meters of rubber lay an overturned car. It had fallen into the riverbed after the water had disappeared. Her body was bent inward and the roof was completely crushed. I lay down in the stinking mud and slid into the shadow of the overturned car. At the same time, the SDF soldiers were issuing each other orders as if this was something they'd planned for already. 2 of them stayed by my side and everyone else ran back the way we'd come. They all climbed up crevices and outcroppings on the wall, and disappeared over the edge of the dike and out of my view. Shortly after. Those were gunshots. Not just a single shot from a handgun or anything like that. The sound of war. You hear the helicopters get further away, drawn by the gunfire. No. What is this? Okay, I have a feeling. Oh god, but the divergence changed though. I'm gonna say, they mentioned on the news that other people are having hallucinations of things that never happened. But again, the divergence changed, so I can't for sure say that this isn't happening right now. In this word line, was Japan at war? The Third World War. Remember, Tsuzu has words. I happened to look inside the crushed car. To see the corpses of a man, a woman, and a small child hanging upside down. They were attached to their seatbelts. They were all covered in dried black blood. They looked like mannequins of the bad haunted house. And then I realized, and so focused on moving forward, I hadn't noticed what they wore. But I'd seen similar mannequins sunk into the mud. See their arms, the bones and ragged muscle exposed to the air, reaching up to the sky as if seeking salvation. I put my hand over my mouth to stifle a scream. Those weren't mannequins! Now, get along the side of the wall and move! We're changing the route. Come on, stand up! He pulled me aside and my knees were shaking from shock and exhaustion. The others are drawing away the Soviet helicopters, but that won't last long. Hurry! Russia? Soviet Union? The Union of the Soviet Socialist Republics, created in 1922 after the end of World War II, it began a long Cold War with America, but the Cold War ended in 1991. It consisted of Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, Moldova, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, there's a lot of stands, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. My line was dulled from the terror, but it seemed like there was something off about what he just said. Get a hold of yourself! Do you know how many people have died to protect you? Protect me? Why? We haven't been told why, but we were told to lay down our lives for you if we had to, and that you could change this country's future. A helicopter passed over the riverbed. Bright searchlight passed us for a moment, but thankfully the shadow of the dike hit us. This way! A young SDF soldier, whose name I don't even know, pulled me inside in one of the holes in the concrete. When I looked closely, I could see that it was the entrance to a sewer. It's big enough for a single person to pass through. Looking against the flow of water that came up to my knees, I pressed on through the darkness. I sensed the smell had already gone numb, but I didn't have to worry about the stench of the sewage. Once inside, we came to several branching paths. The SDF soldiers seemed to know which one would lead where, and they marched on without hesitation. And then we came out of the sewer and back into the riverbed. Dried up, just like the one we'd just been through. I didn't know if it was the same river or another one, and those two soldiers didn't tell me. Either way, I was glad to be finally out of the foul-smelling darkness, and I tried to take a deep breath and fill my lungs with fresh air. But halfway through, I realized that the riverbed smelled even worse than the sewer. I took an involuntary step back and then another. The sight in front of me was just that terrible. What was once a riverbed was now filled with bodies. Some of them had been burnt totally black. It was impossible to tell how much death lay before me. And in the distance, I could see what looked like bonfires. They were burning despite the rain. Fires were consuming the mountains of flesh that once were human bodies. What's there? No, it's rough. Can you run? Huh? Yeah. The SDF soldier spoke to me, and then I came back to my senses. If it weren't for these two, I wouldn't have been able to stay sane. We ran through the riverbed, one of them in front of me, the other behind. I hear the constant drone of the helicopters above me. Sometimes the searchlights got very close. Each time they did, I hid in the piles of bodies until they passed. I'd seen this many times before as I'd wandered through the ward lines. I'd seen death. I'd seen the moments when people had died. But at the same time, I never experienced what happened to a dead person after they were left out for a long time. More than fear, more than sorrow, the thing that hit me first was the smell of death. The rotting stench ate away at my body, not my soul. My whole body was rejecting it. It made me feel sick. Thinking that way meant trampling on the dignity of the dead. But I couldn't help it. The Valley of Hinnom. I remember that phrase. That was what that strange attacker had said that night, when they came after Dr. Luskin and Maho and me. better for you to enter life with one eye than to have two eyes and be thrown into the valley of Yon. The valley was the origin of the word Gehenna, meaning hell. It was said that flames burned there every night, scorching the heavens themselves. Those who died merciless deaths with anger and misery in their hearts were flung into the flames. Their souls became black smoke that rained hatred down on the land. What I stared at now was Gehenna. Two soldiers led me to a half-collapsed subway tunnel. The lights were all off because there was no electricity, but there were 3 armored cars in camo colors, the headlights on to illuminate the way. They were 4-wheel drive off-road vehicles covered in thick chunks of armor, and I didn't see any real weapons. Take the subway route to escape the Saitama. I hear it's still safe at Iruma base. And get that far, you should be able to escape Kanto. I don't want to escape the Kanto region, there's so many Pokemon. One of the other self-defense force's largest bases, located between Iruma and Sayama cities at Saitama Prefecture, it's home to 18 units around 4,300 personnel. It's also the location of the Air Defense Command Headquarters Flight Group. Ask them about it. For now, just hurry. I know that Daistu means escape. There were a lot of things I wanted to escape. There were a lot of things I wanted to ask. But even as we spoke, I heard what sounded like a gunshot outside the tunnel. Men forced me into the backseat of one of the cars. Goodbye. I'll be praying for your safety. What? But what about you guys? We have another mission to carry out. Farewell. Soldiers who had brought me here saluted, turned around and left the station, like I was never going to see them again. The door of the armored car slammed shut with a heavy thud. The car's crew were STF soldiers, just a little older than me. Diesel engine kicked to life, and the car raced down a tunnel that had originally been designed for trains. Of course, it wasn't a pleasant ride at all, but I didn't have any choice. No way I could tell them I wanted to go to Akihabara. I had no way to alter the world line. I had to survive in this hellish world. To survive, I needed to do what they said. My wants didn't matter at all. I wasn't even allowed to express them. I just did as they told me and ran. It was all I could do. I had no idea that it would take an entire month. What? Are we at? What? Oh god, this is the old Achan. Jesus, this looks so weird. Okay, Anonymous at Security Council. The story so far. The USSR starts experimenting with a time machine and America goes apeshit. Give me that time machine. USSR, but I refuse! Some powers and Soviets get cocky. How does it feel to be you right now, huh? How does it feel? Brings us to the end of your regularly scheduled Cold War. US. I'ma bomb you from Japan. WWW. USSR. Then we'll invade Japan! Is that us? Okay, that's us, not US. Us. Oh shit. Right now. Anonymous at Security Council. Security Council, not cancer. USSR is kicking ass. Hokkaido and any Japan are screwed. Are they coming for Central Japan now? People of Nagoya, get the fuck out! Captain Bajina? Bajina? Amateurs who know nothing about strategy need to shut the fuck up. The SDF may look like they're retreating. They've actually got a defense line at Mount Fuji. They're about to start a counterattack. Oh, right, I can score. Mount Fuji line, WWW, who the hell is dumb enough to believe Japanese Imperial High Command, WWW. And an NSCJ. We'd be better not start hearing calls for kamikaze pilots soon. Captain Bajina. Shut up, noob. Idiots like you are the real threat to Japan. Anonymous at Security Council. What the hell happened to the collective right of self-defense? America's only interested in protecting Okinawa. What the hell is the SDS going to getting sent off to Siberia? How are they supposed to protect the country? Anonymous at Security Council. You protect the chicken hawk. You want to fight? Go volunteer. They say they aren't getting enough recruits. Anonymous at Security Council. Are they going to start conscription soon, you think? Captain Margina. What's the point of conscripting a bunch of fat otaku? They just get in the way. War these days requires professional soldiers. Anonymous Security Council. There's the fat otaku who doesn't want to go to war. Anonymous Security Council. There are barely any professional soldiers left in Japan. Our masters in America sent them all around the globe and then stuck them here. You guys will probably be getting your conscription notices soon. Good luck. I'm a chick, so I don't care. In other words, if we get a sex change, we don't have to go, right? The real enemies of Japan are its own citizens, huh, asshole? Seriously, are we going to be split up like Germany? It's likely. They say there's a provisional government forming in Okinawa. They're all set to abandon East Japan and just have America protect the West. Those incompetents in the government might honestly do it. Is this really the time to bash politicians? Traitorous shill! Traitor! WWW shill! WWW. What are all the W's? Strategically, America can't let go of Okinawa, and Japan wants to keep some kind of government. That means that making a provisional government in Okinawa is the best option. You bashed the hell of Okinawa up until now, and now you're telling me this? Shut up, traitor. If I'm a traitor, what are you? You're posting on 8chan right now, that means you either fled the country or ran to Okinawa. This today's you don't get to talk thread. Okay. W. Oh, a shortened version of the Japanese word for laughter. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. What are you? Supposedly, it was first used in a non-Japanese online game. Adding the W to the end of a sentence or placing it in the middle can indicate that you find the situation humorous. On anonymous boards, message boards adding more W's such as www can be used to increase the amount of laughter or indicate that you're mocking an opponent. Examples of sentences including W are whoa, www, okay, www, and I'm www getting www excited, www. Using W's in this way is sometimes called making grass grow because of the way they look. That's slang that means thank you. I don't think I would have ever been able to guess. Not one bit. The reason it took a month to get to Okinawa was that we were losing the war. Supposedly, the plan had been to ferry me by plane to Okinawa once I'd arrived at Ruma base. The constant bombing had slowed us down, so they gave up on the plane and decided I would escape to Kyushu by ground. There was more than one attack by Soviet spies and assault teams. One of the SDF soldiers protecting me died. When I got to Sasebo, we get in a maritime SDF escort ship and managed to escape to Okinawa. Why were they doing all this for me? No matter how many times I asked, no one would answer. Okinawa in winter was covered in thick clouds. When to think of it, I hadn't seen a real break in the clouds for a whole month. Thinking about that when I was loaded into a van with dark tinted windows that had come to pick me up from the port. Oh look, you can actually see the peasant's face. Inside the car was not only the driver, but a middle-aged man sitting in the front passenger seat. Very short, perhaps only around 150 centimeters tall. Like what, 5'1"? He had the air of a military veteran, and even though he was fully dressed, I could tell he was extremely muscular. Rintaro Okabe, correct? I'm Shimoyama, but in the Ministry of Defense's Intelligence Security Command. Going to make a stop at the airport, and head to the Okinawa Defense Bureau in Karina. Sure you're tired from your long journey. I have to ask you to hang in there a little while longer. Right. You say okay. I heard that Tokyo had been destroyed. The major functions of the Japanese government were now headquartered out of the Okinawa Defense Bureau, to allow for better cooperation with the American forces stationed nearby. What Shimoyama explained to me. In other words, the place I was heading to was the core of Japan's defenses. I arrived, would I understand why I was so important to that all those soldiers were willing to die to protect me. So now it's January 25th, right? Because when we last left off, it was the 25th of December because of Christmas. Car stopped in front of Naha Airport for a while. An airport in Naha, Okinawa, it is the hub airport of the Okinawa area. The airport is also home to the Air Self-Defense Forces Naha Air Base. As of 2009, it was the 6th busiest airport in Japan, as measured by number of arriving travelers. What I want to know is the divergence changed by 0.1, and this much has changed. I feel like all the dead bodies there, why the hell would that change from 0.1? And then I saw a surprising pair get aboard. Maho and Luskinen. Okinawa, right? Yuki and Fubake. And they're both wearing camo as well. It's really Okarin! Yo, Yuki and Nakase! I'm expecting to see them there. They were the first people I knew who I'd met since coming to this world line. That alone was almost enough to make me cry. So I couldn't just sit there and be happy. About Mayuri! Do you know where she is? She's fine. Yuki nodded as if trying to make me feel better. He was just with us. Just with you? That's right. Mayushi, and Rumiho, and Luka, and Kaede. Who's missing? Nai, Daru, Suzu. Who else? Thinking of all the people, the other faces on Christmas party. Well, Leskinen and Maho. We got to the airport this morning. We were all waiting because they said we could go to some place called the Defense Bureau, where we'd be safe. Said they'd take Fubuki and me there first. I just realized 2 things. 1, we don't have a clock. 2, I cannot pull up my phone. And then they had us get inside this car where we found you. Anyway, I'm glad everybody's safe. Daru and Suzu had one mention. I was going to ask about them, but... Sorry, but can you talk about this later? The Mayama cut me off and the car started moving. Plan is for your families to arrive at the Okinawa Defense Bureau eventually. We already have them under our protection. Really? I'm so glad. Other friends are on the car behind us. You haven't been separated, so don't worry. A quick look and saw another identical van was behind us. Mayuri and the others were there. And we'll see them later, right? Of course. He let out a sigh of relief. Then I started to wonder about something else. Why were we split into different cars? The van could hold at least another 3 people. If squeezed tight, it could easily hold everyone. Was there some reason they put me, Yuki, and Fubuki in the same car? The car drove alongside the Okinawa monorail for a while, and then went south down a wide bypass. The only railway operating in Okinawa as of 2011. Runs approximately 13 kilometers between Naha Airport and Shuri Castle, with a 30-minute transit time and 15 stations along the way. So dark. What was that? Nothing, just... There are all these stores, but they're all so dark. Well, lots of franchise restaurants, big supermarkets, cafeterias for tourists, and rent-a-car places all jammed together along the side of the road. But all of them were dead silent and no lights were turned off. Barely any of the street lights were turned on, and the only cars were Japanese and US military vehicles. I didn't see anyone out walking. There's a blackout in effect. Well, as a curfew past 5 o'clock p.m. Now, it may be safe, but this is still wartime. Things can't be like they were. Can't wait for the war to end and everything to go back to normal. Wartime, huh? Tell me, Okabe. The Okinawa you knew was a bright, fun place even at night, isn't it? I wouldn't know. I've never been to Okinawa before. Let me guess, this war line he has gone. That's a shame. And I pray you get to come back for a good vacation sometime. This really is a nice island. This game got me intrigued at the beginning. It's freaking grabbed me by the neck, chained me up, and it's taking me along for a ride. I headed up from the bypass of a land bridge and then to another road. We quickly came to a long tunnel. I actually wanted to ask the 3 of you some questions before we got to the bureau. That's why I have you riding with me. I guess was right. And there was something he wanted to ask just the 3 of us. Why us 3? I wasn't particularly close to Yuki or Fubuki. Well, from what I know, Ventaro and Fubuki have experience reading Steiner, so I'm wondering if Yuki has also obtained that ability. I'd only even started talking to them a few months ago. Shook my head. That was before the world line changed. Maybe things were different on this world line. I have no idea what my relationship was to anyone else in this world line. The SDF had been treating me so well, I didn't want to make Shimoyama suspicious. I decided it would be best to leave most of the talking to Yuki and Fubuki. Yuki Amane. Yes? Shimoyama spoke to Yuki first. He went stiff when her name was called. I could feel it even sitting next to her. You don't know what Taro Hishida and his little sister are, do you? So Suzuha still exists on this world line. Little sister. Must be Suzuha. That would mean that even in this world line, Suzuha had come from the future and gotten to know Yuki and the others while pretending to be Suzuha's sister. The SDF evidently didn't know what Dado and Suzuha were. No, He fell silent and glanced over to me as if expecting help. I didn't know where they were either. I didn't even have any memories of this world line, so I had no way of answering. Yuki's attitude bothered me. It was as if she knew what they were and was deliberately hiding it. And I was supposed to be hiding it too. Figure that out, I'm sure Shimoyama could too. Strange tension filled the call. He was trying to hide it from whom? No, you don't know? Shimoyama turned around from the front passenger seat and asked again. Hi. So, when the guy originally started talking, I thought that it was the one on the right, but I forget that Japan has the wheel on the other side. Yuki bowed her head in apology. Very close to him, weren't you? You were his lover, and yet you heard nothing? You know that cell phones don't work anymore, right? There are plenty of ways to get in touch with someone besides a cell phone. But I really don't. Think from his sister either? Nothing. By the way, I'm told that you were researching something with Hashida, Okabe. How to react when the conversation suddenly turned towards me. Researching what? Oh, if I panic, I'll make them suspicious. What were you researching? Just had to give him the most harmless answers I could. It wasn't really research. It was more like inventions. Inventions. Whether you could attach a CCD camera to a bamboo copter to do aerial photography. A CCD charge-coupled device camera is a camera that uses semiconductors. In normal parlance, termed refers to an extremely small camera. But you could use the heat of a vacuum cleaner as a hairdryer. Oh, that's interesting. Then you once say making something unbelievable and running away from us so that we wouldn't find out where it was? Running away? Damn, I responded. That was a mistake. Did that mean that Daru and Suzuha were hiding from the SDF amidst all this chaos? The SDF had risked their lives to protect me over the past month. Shouldn't I be asking them for help? I'm even more confused. You don't know, then that's fine. We'll talk about Hashida and his sister some other time. Somebody, please tell me what the right answer is. How am I supposed to respond here? Katsumi Nakase. There was something else I wanted to ask you. Me? It was Fubuki's turn to jump up in his seat. No, don't get so nervous. Nothing big. Also, Shimoyama thought, but Fubuki was clearly starting to get scared. The reaction was strange, it was too strong. Maybe the self-defense forces weren't simply protecting us. One thing, there was no way normal civilians like us merited such important treatment. And what were they after? No, I could guess. Time machine. This war started with Russia's time machine experiments. Of course, Nagabachi was involved. I learned from some of the soldiers that even in this world line he sought asylum in Russia. And Suzuha was a time traveler from the year 2036. Suzuha was here in this era, that meant that it was Dada who made the time machine that brought her here. If you had a time machine, you could change the outcome of this war. Oh no. So, is the reason why reading Steiner activate because someone used Suzuha's time machine? That's the only explanation I can think of. It would make sense if that's what the Japanese government thought, and if that was why they were trying to capture Dado Suzuha and their friends. Once I realized that, the whole situation started to feel terrifying to me. Was this call really headed toward the Okinawa Defense Bureau? If it was, were they really going to keep us safe there? But the physical you underwent last week. Was there some problem? No. You've almost recovered from the wounds you sustained in Tokyo. And health-wise, you're fine. But you're under a lot of stress. Well, it's not surprising. You survived that terrible bombing. No exaggeration to say that most civilians have PTSD now. Post-traumatic stress disorder. From the 4th edition of the DSM-IV, the American Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, published 1994, caused by severe shock from experiencing an accident, disaster, crime, or other seriously traumatic event. This mental disorder causes any number of stress-related issues. Symptoms include psychological instability, insomnia, confusion, memory trouble, and other problems that last for over a month. It seems that your symptoms are a little different than most people's. You have very realistic dreams, for example. Is that why she has reading Steiner? Because, like, a lot of people were assuming that the reason why Okabe has reading Steiner is because of the fact that his first change was experiencing Kurisu's death, and because he experienced that in so many different world lines, it caused him to be, you know, detached from time itself. But could it be that she experienced something equally disturbing in this timeline, so that's why she could see Mayuri die in the other world line? In particular, severe instances, they could almost be called waking dreams. I'm told at times you lose the ability. I'm told at times you lose the ability to tell the difference between dreams and reality. Isn't that just PTSD, though? Yuki was too scared to speak, so Yuki interrupted curtly. Rare to see Yuki act like this. Nothing else, I'd never seen it before. Plain now. Yuki didn't trust Shimoyama. Actually considered him an enemy. It's very strange. Shimoyama paused a moment for effect and rubbed his chin. There are others who say they have very similar dreams, and not just one or two. Of course, the degree to which they suffer from this problem changes, but we found more than 10 in Japan alone. They exist in other countries too, but we've only got information from the West. It's just a coincidence, isn't it? Oh wait, that was me. It was just a coincidence, isn't it? Buki was incredibly frightened, but I spoke in her place. But Puchin, right? Fiction of Vladimirovich Puchin. Wait. Oh god, yeah. In 2008, he was the second president of Russia. After 2008, became its prime minister, a former KGB agent. Suddenly, Shimoyama turned his gaze towards me and asked me a question. Soviet General Secretary, right? I almost said the president of Russia, but managed to stop myself. The Soviet Union still existed in this war line. Putin's title was General Secretary, not President. I'd heard that during my time at Avuma. Correct. But interestingly enough, Nakase referred to him as the President of Russia. What? I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. And I'm not really what you'd call a good student. No, that's not it. One of the strange things about all the people who have these dreams. They all call him President Putin. And they all call Gorbevich and Letsin president too. Boris Nikolaevich, God, names. I can't even pronounce non-Japanese names. Letsin. Former USSR politician, after the fall of the Soviet Union, he became the first president of the Russian Federation as well as its prime minister, died in 2007. Mikhail... I'm not even gonna try. Gorbevich. Gorbevich? Spopovich. Spopovich became president. Gorbachev. General Secretary of the Soviet Communist Party, the last leader of the USSR, I can't read today. The last leader of the USSR, he executed the Perestroika plan and brought the Cold War to an end. But the scientists have started calling it President's Disease. Not a terribly clever name, if you ask me. No way. Talking about reading Steiner? There's a strong chance that people besides me had that power, even if not as acutely. Never found out for sure, but what Ferris had said in the Alpha World line suddenly suggested it. It was suddenly possible that Shimoyama's waking dreams were actually the effects of reading Steiner. They were all aware of the world line shift a month ago, just like me. Ibuki had the same memories of the other world line that I had. It made perfect sense that she called Puchin the president. Gorbachev. I can't read! Gorbachev, Letson. I know them. Didn't they teach that in war history? Yeah, but let's be honest, how many of us actually paid attention? I took science classes in high school. Oh, you... Wow, you were lucky because you got to take what you wanted to. Here in America, you have to take all the subjects, even if you don't want to. I'm not saying it's bad to know multiple subjects, but come on. But everyone knew about them. You kids today not know who they are. I find it hard to believe you're all that ignorant. You know about Gorbachev and Letson, right, Okabe? Yeah, I suppose so. And Perestroika and the fall of the Berlin Wall. Fall of the Berlin Wall? Writing for restructuring, police of economic revolution via the introduction of market-oriented economics that was implemented in 1985 by the Soviet Union. Originally, it was an attempt to reboot the stalled socialist economy, but it led to the end of the Communist Party's one-party dominance and the collapse of the USSR. In World War II, the capital of Germany, Berlin, was divided into two sides. The eastern side was controlled by the Soviet Union, and the western by America, England, and France. Later, Germany would split into West Germany and East Germany. The portion of Berlin and East Germany remained its capital, but West Berlin remained occupied by the Allied power while being cut off from the rest of West Germany, which lay approximately 100 miles to the west. In 1961, East Germany built a wall around the city in response to continuing attempts by its citizens to seek asylum in West Berlin. This was the Berlin Wall. Until its destruction in 1989, it was a symbol of the divide between East and West Germany. Additionally, West Berlin was never officially West Germany territory. They simply operated as a stand-in for foreign affairs and currency administration. Yeah, they were in the textbooks. The second after the words were out of my mouth, an alarm went off in my mind. Something was wrong. There was something strange about what Shimoyama was saying. And I realized. East and West were caught up in the middle of a world war. How could the Berlin Wall have fallen? Did Gorbachev really execute Perestroika? By the time I realized he tricked me, it was too late. The panic appeared on my face. You too, huh? Literally trying to hide it, weren't you? But the information was right after all. You know something important. Listen, Okabe. I want you to tell me. When I suddenly laughed, it was a bitter laugh, almost eerily so. Gorbachev? Letson? Who are these people you all keep talking about? We don't have any data on them, and neither do any of the American intelligence agencies. That data doesn't exist. Doesn't exist? Looked over at Yuki. No look on her face, I could tell that she really had no idea who they were. Perestroika, the fall of the Berlin Wall. Did these things really happen? Tell me, please. I didn't answer. I was thinking of something completely different. And I realized why the world line might have changed a month ago on Christmas Eve. What if Russia used a time machine that day in an experiment to change the past? Well, the experiment would have been to stop the collapse of the Soviet Union. The result of them changing the past was this world line. How foolish! A single change to the past and the butterfly effect makes the entire world so different. Part of chaos theory that says if a butterfly flaps its wings in Beijing, a storm will occur in New York. Even a small change in starting conditions can lead to radically different results. Chaos theory states that it can be difficult to predict the outcome of a system even if the equations describing it are extremely simple. But this does not mean, however, that these outcomes are random. It means that even a minor change in the process can cause an unexpected divergence in the results. Also, this theory does not apply to short-term predictions. Do you know how many people had died? Have you and your friends really experienced the history of a different world? Can't believe it. It's nonsense cooked up by some crazy scientist. About to push me further when... I heard the sound of an incoming call on his cell phone. Shimoyama grunted and took his phone out of his pocket. I thought phones didn't work. On our way to Burio. What do you mean, Nani? Damn it. The problem with these idiots. What country do these politicians think they're working for? His finger slammed down on the end call button and so hard I thought the phone would break. The look of rage on his face. Changing our destination. Heading to Kadana Base, Gate 2. An American Air Force base in Japan has twice the area of Tokyo International Airport. He was filled with irritation as he spoke to the driver. Changing destinations? Who was he just talking to? Sat there confused, Shimoyama started to call someone else. It's Shimoyama. Changing our destination. We'll meet at Gate 2 at Kadana Base. Kadena Base. That's all he said before he hung up. What's going on? The situation's changed. Kabe is heading to a US military base. From there, he might get to take a fun trip on a US Air Force plane to America. America? Ask them to make sure you get first-class accommodations. Don't get your hopes up. They don't listen to us anymore than you'd listen to a yapping pet dog. Why America? I don't know if it's the CIA or the NCS and NSC. Someone wants us to hand you over. American National Security Council, an organization that works directly for the White House and advises the President on national security matters, consists of the President, the Vice President, the Secretary of State, the Secretary of the Treasury, and the Secretary of Defense. An abbreviation used by the American Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA reports directly to the President, engaged in spying, intelligence gathering, and political manipulation in foreign nations to guarantee America's security. They are said to have been involved in many major historical events. But why? Ask them yourself. He turned back towards the front and fell silent, refusing to answer any of my questions. The car went down the road for a while. We got off at the exit that read South Okinawa. We stopped in front of the gate. Several US soldiers had evidently been waiting for my arrival. I am mad scientist! Chaos and invade! It made me think of the part from the movie when he's trying to go into America. We hand you over to the Americans, we're not going to get any accurate information from them. So this is my last chance. Yamama turned around to the front passenger seat and looked straight at me. His eyes were desperate and begging. Tell me, what are we supposed to do from now on? Please. Remember all those soldiers in Tokyo who'd fought so desperately to protect me? Are they fighting to help someone else in Tokyo right now? Or are they already... I don't know. I really don't know! You think I can do something about this war? All by myself? Knowing that Gorbachev and Yeltsin were presidents of Russia, or that they brought a dramatic end to the Cold War, that doesn't actually help anything. Hear the sound of another car getting closer. Miyama sighed and opened the passenger side door. Get out. I exited the car as I was told. Look at her, it's just so cute! She even has a little hat. Lady got out of the van behind us and ran over to me. Aww. I think this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. My childhood friend flung herself into my arms and I held her tight. I finally get to see you. I don't even want to say Mayuri's. First of all, my voice is really shot from all that textbook reading. And secondly, I feel like this is very emotional. I could feel her warmth. Mayuri was here. Never gone almost a whole month without seeing her before. This was wartime. Couldn't easily connect to her like I could in the old war line. But I'd been so worried about whether or not Mayuri was okay. No exaggeration to say that I'd survived this far just to make sure. I'd erased the entire Alpha World line to save her. No matter what happened, I wanted her to be safe. Sorry. I held her too closely. Step back. She believed you now. She believed she'd get to see Ocarina again. Yeah. Ferris, you saved me, yeah? Is she gonna have some cat? Wait, she's still Ferris in this? Didn't they just call her Rumiho? Luca! Look at everyone in the wild. Luca really throws me off because she doesn't have the scorpion anymore. Ferris has her hair down. She doesn't have the, you know, the pigtails. Kaede has a sweater underneath her clothes. That's weird. Had two more voices I recognized. Ferris and Luca, and behind them I saw Kaede. I'm glad you're all safe. I found myself getting choked up too when I saw Lukako cry. Exchanged greetings with Kaede too. Fubuki had grabbed onto her like a little kid, still pale and trembling. Yes. I guess you're not wearing your main outfit for. It's been a long time since anybody's called me Ferris, Nia. Ferris spoke sadly, then she put her hand around my neck and held me close. Her pink lips got close to my ear as if she was about to kiss me. Hey! What's going on? Don't be so embarrassed, Nyan! Laughed mischievously, then Ferris, no. Rumiho Akiha whispered into my ear while pretending to kiss me. Careful. Don't trust the Ministry of Defense or the Americans. Those are all liars. None of them tell the truth. They're all demons! Right, Ferris had a special talent. Test out a break. I fictional grinning cat in Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. Was incredibly good at looking into someone's heart and seeing what they were thinking. Yeah. Just figured that out. None of them just tricked me. Ferris looked surprised and took a step back. That's sad, Nyan. Yeah. And I heard the sound of another engine, coming from beyond the gate inside the base, belonging to a black luxury car with an Eon license plate, and it was a minibus. Two of them stopped in front of the gate. Time for my reunion to end. Welcome! An American soldier as tall as a basketball player got out of the car. Welcome everyone, my name is Hammond. I've never heard that as a first name. I know two people who I've seen two people who have had his as a last name. Hammond. Japanese was good, but not great. Everyone except Mr. Okabe, please get on the bus. Smiling, but I could tell he wasn't going to allow any arguments. The other American soldiers were still carrying their rifles as they stood guard without smiles. Moyama and the other Japanese soldiers were watching us from a distance. They didn't try to stop us, they were just looking downwards. Everyone but Okarin? What do you mean? I'm just now noticing how long the jig code is on Mayuri. No need to be scared. Going to talk to you a little and then we'll send you right to the Okinawa Defense Bureau. Come along. It's fine. Don't worry. Yuki, take care of Mayuri. Okay. He nodded and put an arm around Mayuri's shoulder as she led her to the bus. Everyone else followed. To my parents I said hi. Once everyone but me was on, the minibus left immediately. The area in front of the gate fell silent. Hard to believe that this existed in the same world as all the places I'd crossed when I escaped to Japan's main island. Alright, Mr. Okabe, come this way. Told me to get on the back seat of the black luxury car. What happened to me once I got inside? I had to think about it, but realized there was nothing I could do. About to get into the car when... Okabe, run! If you go to America, you won't come back alive! My scream was cut off by the sound of gunfire. One of my eyes saw the American soldiers firing without hesitation. No way! I had to turn around when... Get inside! A large hand blocked my vision as Hammond held me down. I couldn't hear Shimoyama's voice anymore. The gaps between his fingers, I could see that nothing was moving. I knew exactly what that meant. I was shoved into the car before I had time to think about it. This is... I'd opened my mouth, but Hammond looked into my eyes and shook his head. I wasn't supposed to talk then. Hammond sat next to me, then closed the door. The car started to move. Then we turned down a different road than the one the Nimbus... Flying Nimbus! I am so bad today. I am so sorry for my reading mistakes. Soon we turned down a different road than the one the minibus was taking. Oh my god. America, huh? Never been there before. What are they going to do to me there? Use me as a guinea pig? Cut open my head and dissect my brain? Probably wasn't going to be able to do any tourist things. I like screaming, but tried my best to stay calm. There's someone I want you to meet. Hammond suddenly spoke, then he handed me something. Before I even looked at what it was, when I checked, it was a normal smartphone. Not locked, just hit that button. Used, I pressed the button as I was told. Something appeared on the screen. The Amadeus Kurisu Makise. Why does the US military have Amadeus? Oh no. You guys, oh no, Daru! Do you guys remember when Daru was asking him about the laptop and they said that some Russian was trying to get a hold of it? What if they hacked it? Not hacked it. What if they somehow broke the code and was able to get Kurisu's Amadeus from there? About to ask Hammond when. For some in about a month, that feeling came back. Oh god, we're closer. Oh god, no! We went down the world. What? For one, and all its colors began to shift. Feeling of instability, like my brain was unable to recognize what it was. And dizziness in the sense of falling, like you could get when you're anemic. I hear the blood vessels deep within my ears, and they sounded really loud. The sense of floating finally stopped. My surroundings coalesced into firm shapes. My lady was in front of me. I was in the lab, in the room I knew well. No trace of Okinawa anywhere. So the fact that Suzuha and Daru were missing, I feel like that's going to play into this. Mayushi's going to get embarrassed if you keep staring like that. I realized I was staring at Mayuri. Around the room. I was sitting in front of the PC like always, hunched over with his back towards me. So did we return? Wait, did we No! We did not return because the borderline was 1.2 before, wasn't it? Or am I imagining? Oh god. Thought I was sitting in front of the PC like always, hunched over with his back towards me. Because I was reading a magazine on the couch. On the open page, I could read the title, New Encephalitis Strikes Worldwide. Are you in danger? Same couch, the same cheap fridge, Daru's computer desk, the dirty curtain that cut off the development room from the rest of the lab. The wall clock, which I picked up out of the garbage dump, told me it was past 6. The calendar in 2010 was already gone. It was January 2011. The world line had changed again. I was back? The old world line?
No.
Hey. Mayuri. This is Akihabara, right?
Akihabara だよな。違う。
Is it not Akihabara? It's Akihabara.
今日って
What day is it again?
何日だっけ
The 21st.
ゴリバチョフ。
You know who Gorbachev is? Chev? I think I've heard that name. Perestroika, right? Russia. Or was Gorbachev back from the Soviet days? These days, when you think Russia, you think Putin. I'm sure if he was in front of me and he glared at me, I'd pee my pants. I'd pee my pants. I know Putin. He's the president of Russia, right? Did you know he likes doggies? He keeps an Akita. I saw it on the news. President. Yeah, that's right. He's the president. Mayuri, Daru, and Suzuha all looked over at me suspiciously. Like a long time since anyone had looked at me that way. I was back. No longer had to worry that I might be killed at any second. But incredibly relieved. At the same time, I wondered, why had the world line changed again? I needed to calm down and think for a bit. I went up to the roof and booted up the web browser on my smartphone. Unlike during wartime, it connected immediately. I was amazed at the speed. Just getting an internet connection in the last world line would have been difficult enough. But by searching for Gorbachev, and the results came back instantly. Perestroika, the Soviet Union's first and last president. The August coup d'etat and the collapse of the Soviet Union. All the keywords I hoped to see were there. As soon as I confirmed that the Soviet Union was dismantled at the end of the 20th century, no longer existed, I closed the browser. Why had the world line shifted again? I hadn't done anything. I didn't have any way to affect the divergence value. What had changed it? Had whoever had performed the first experiment in Russia undone it? Had they watched its progress for a month and then been satisfied? Were they going to keep doing it? If they did, would I be caught up in it each time? It's so cold. Mistake to come outside without a coat on. The thing I could come up with by myself could be anything more than a guess. I still can't pull up my phone! How about now? Yes, I can. Am I missing someone? Probably just imagining it. The wreaths we put up at the entrance for the Christmas party was still up.
Christmas party.
That Christmas party, huh? It would have been a month, hadn't it? Like a million years ago. I had no memories of what I'd done in this wood line after the Christmas party. Come to think of it, we left the decorations up. We should take those down. You and Miss Fubuki collapsed during the party, right? There was a big fuss and we sort of forgot to clean up. Nakase and I collapsed? Is that when the world line changed? I don't remember that I collapsed at the Christmas party. Which means I'd come back to the same world line as the one I'd been in before. It was Russia's doing. It was terrifying to think they could control the world line to that degree. There was one more thing. It worried me that Fubuki had collapsed too. I stood there lost in thought. Dado and Mayuri looked a little concerned. Oh, come to think of it, I was wondering how Nakase is doing. Came up with an excuse. Fubuki's still in the hospital. In the hospital? Even though it's been a month? Yeah, she's fine. They won't let her leave. Said that lately, unless you were really sick, they wouldn't let you stay in the hospital for very long. Fubuki's sick or something? They still think she's got this, I guess. Now whispered as she held up the page of the magazine she was reading. New encephalitis strikes worldwide. Are you in danger? New encephalitis. I borrowed the magazine. They're talking about this last November. I'd seen a glimpse of it on the news. Outside of Japan, they'd seen almost 100 people, albeit with mild symptoms. In Japan, there were 10 people being kept at hospitals for examinations, so it said. It had made its way to Japan? One of those 10 was Fubuki then. Was it transmissible by air? Didn't catch it at the Christmas party, did we? I think getting nervous wouldn't help anything, but still, I wondered. Hey, why did you go to the hospital too? Okarin? You were in worse shape than she was, you know? Yeah, I'll think about it. Gave a half-hearted answer to Mayuri and turned back to the magazine. Strange symptoms being found all over the world. As cause unknown. Then memory loss. Memories differ from those of the people around you, losing all sense of the past time, and the ability to tell the difference between dreams and reality, sometimes having waking dreams. The article was filled with things like that. It was just like reading Steiner. It matched exactly with what Shimoyama had told me in the other world line. Very realistic dreams, for example. Particularly bad instances, they could almost be called waking dreams. But at times you lose the ability to tell the difference between dreams and reality. There are others who say they have very similar dreams, and not just one or two. Wonder back then if Fubuki possessed Reading Steiner too. Maybe the reason she collapsed at the Christmas party wasn't some new disease, but the unexpected activation of Reading Steiner. That would mean her diagnosis was wrong. The necessary tests and treatments they gave her wouldn't help a bit. They needed to talk to Fubuki. I ended up going over that day. It was at a large general hospital with a medical student department located in Okanomimitsu. Close enough to Akihabara I could walk, and getting there was easy. She might get the wrong idea if I went alone. I encouraged Mary to come with me. I hoped it would look like I was only coming as an afterthought. It ended up being a bigger deal than I expected. They heard that Mayuri was going, Yuki and Kaede decided to come too. Evidently, they'd all been to visit Fubuki several times before, and they knew exactly where she was located. Walked down the halls without hesitation. Almost 8, when visiting hours ended, so we needed to hurry. But as we passed by another station, there was a minor commotion. A woman in her late 40s wearing a grey jersey was yelling at the doctors and nurses. Enough of this! When do I get to go home? Impatient. Told you, only after you've been examined and gotten the treatments you need. You're not giving me any kind of treatments! And what was supposed to be a quick examination with me stuck here for a month? What am I supposed to do about my job? Calm down, there's still a lot we don't know about the disease. Without proper examination and treatment, it's dangerous. Liar! The TV said not to worry because it wasn't that bad. Told you before, that's only if you get the appropriate treatment. One of the nurses just told me you were dizzy. Just felt anemic because dinner was late. I'm just fine. Let me go home. One was about ready to grab the doctor by the throat, so a female nurses held her back and then dragged her off somewhere with reassuring words. That scared me. You think Fubuki's okay? Girls hurried even faster down the hallway. Fubuki was in a 4-person room at the very end of the hallway. He hesitantly peeked inside. That voice! He heard moaning coming from beyond the curtains surrounding Fubuki's bed. The one parent hurriedly ripped them open. Hello, strange brain device. Fubuki made a strange noise and spun around as we came in. I looked closer and saw that she was sitting in the bed with her legs crossed, watching a show and the LCD TV attached to it. Her eyes were red and swollen with tears, but given the fact that she had a stick of pokey in her mouth, she was probably just crying over a soap opera. Oh, you guys came to see me! She wiped away her tears and welcomed us with her usual smile. Oh, you scared Mayushi. Thought you were crying. You really scared us. Sorry. Even as she apologized, she tossed another chocolate-coated stick in her mouth. Her hair was tied up and she was wearing some kind of headgear. First I thought it was just that she was too lazy to do her hair, but evidently not. There were cords coming out of the headgear that were attached to a belt around her waist. Were they monitoring her brainwaves? As unobtrusively as possible, I took a look at the other patients around the room. They were all wearing the same headgear. They may have been given it to all the I'm gonna get this word memorized at some point. Encephalitis patients. Sorry to bring everybody over, Fubuki. No, you're very welcome. And I didn't think Okarin would come. Fubuki stared at me intently. Never done that before, so I started to wonder if there was something on my face. Said you collapsed like I did, so I got worried. How you doing? It's fine. I really don't understand why they won't let me leave. Every day they just do exams and there's nothing for me to do. I'm so bored. You're not allowed to use your phone in the rooms. If I want to send a text, I have to go all the way to the lobby. They turn off the lights at 9, so I can't watch the late-night anime. Puffy face. I just don't believe this. The bed was surrounded with portable game consoles, magazines, a miniature DVD player, anything to stave off boredom. Given all the half-empty boxes of snacks, it was hard to believe that the disease was as serious as they said on the news. Are you okay, Okarin?
ああ、
Yeah.
マユリ
So
に言った
Mayuri
ら
this.
この
But
通
I'm
り
fine.
なんともない。
I see. I'm glad. Seemed truly relieved, but she was still staring at me. And like Coyote started to fidget. Not only that, she blushed and glanced at me, and almost started to cry. She was acting really weird. What's wrong? I started fidgeting even more when she realized that everyone was looking at her, but she had no choice but to go over and whisper something in Fubuki's ear. The girls tried to quiet Fubuki down. The hospital and there were other patients in the room. We couldn't make a fuss. Listen to this, everybody! Miss Kaede Kuroshima here suspects me of secretly dating Okarin. That voice clip. I need to hear this again. I tend to keep from shouting in surprise. Where are you getting that from? Because according to Mayuri, you were the one who wanted to come see Fubuki today, right? Well, that's true. There was another reason, but I couldn't say that. Fubuki and Okarin were staring longingly at one another. You were not staring longingly at one another. That's not it. You tried to scratch her hair, but the headgear blocked her way, and she gave up. I had this really realistic dream. Realistic dream? I was startled. That may have been what I wanted to find out. It was sometime this evening. I was kind of spacing out. There's just nothing to do around here. And then somehow, I don't really remember, but me and Okarin and Yuki were all taken somewhere in a car by these scary men. I was there too? Yeah. It was the same. I meant Fubuki had experienced the same things I'd gone through in the other world line. This evening would have been the same time I was experiencing it. Peek through the curtains to make sure that none of the hospital staff were around. Sorry guys. Can you leave me alone with Nakase for a bit? No way! Not like that. I'm really sure how to handle that reaction. Something you don't want Mayushi and everyone else to know about? It's about her disease. Okay, I understand. Yuri nodded and went outside the curtains. The other two looked bothered, but they followed her. Nakase, did this dream of yours take place in Okinawa? Yeah, that's right. I think it was Okinawa. I think I saw a sign saying so when I was in the car. At the car there was you, me, Yuki, and the driver, and a short man who was an SDF soldier. Yeah? The man's name was Shimoyama. We suddenly went pale. About being in a car in Okinawa could be written off as a coincidence. Knowing the exact name of the man in that shared dream was a different matter entirely. How? Why? The man talked to you about waking dreams. And the president of Russia. That's right. And then we were taken to a US Army base. There you met up with Mayuri and the others. Said goodbye to me. He was too stunned to speak. No room for doubt, my suspicion turned into a certainty. Yuki had a stronger reading standard than most people, remembering the other world line as a relatively realistic dream. The dream, Shimoyama guy said that you and I both had memories of another world. Yeah. Was he right? Yeah. I hesitated for a moment, but then I gave her a brief explanation of my own reading Stein ability. One thing I wanted to make sure she understood was that her dreams weren't caused by an illness. But her reaction wasn't what I expected. And there may be others who aren't sick too. They're all? There's nothing to do. I talk to the others a lot about the dreams we have. Sometimes it's just amazing how similar they are. There's a kid in elementary school who's in the next room. We became friends. They said that they'd never been to Okinawa, but they had a dream that they were there. Tokyo had burned down. The self-defense forces saved them and took them there. I see. Oh no. That was true, then it wasn't just Fubuki. There were other patients who were being kept in the hospital for no reason, who didn't have any kind of disease at all. I talked to the doctors? No. I don't think they believe you. If they started to think that your delusions were getting worse. You're right. Shouldn't tell the others yet. You don't want there to be a fuss. Yeah. Then Yuki poked her head through the curtain. Kabe, nurse is coming. Visiting hours are over for today. Looked at the clock. It was well past 8. Sorry for being in such a rush, Fubuki. Next time we'll come earlier so we have more time. Ah, Mayushi, don't go. The nurse would get mad. Don't get mad. Sleep with me tonight. Because it was back to her usual self. Got Mayuri's hand and held it tight. Eddie chuckled and forced her to let go. Don't be selfish. We'll come as often as we can. That's not good enough. Come tomorrow, and the day after, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. As soon as school's over, I'm so bored I could die. Don't say that. Yuki flared her arms and legs about. It's a bit too deliberate, if you ask me. Patty patted her on the head. Right. Bye-bye. Yuri and Yuki went over to pat her too. So long she looked like a little puppy in a kennel being petted. They left her behind and exited the room. The last to leave, and before I did, I turned around and saw Fubuki staring at us from the bed. Our eyes met, so I nodded a little. Hey, you're not sick, so don't worry. I don't know if she understood what I meant, but she nodded back. Hospital halls were strangely silent after visiting hours were over. Oh, God, wait, stop. Talk in private. I'll wait for you to contact me. Something in the short message made me feel very tense. After I said my goodbyes to the others, I contacted Suzuha, telling me to come to the top of the radio building. When I arrived, she was standing silently on the dark roof. There was no trace of a smile on her face. Eyes shone in the darkness, and as she glared at me, I felt a shiver run down my spine. It was not the Suzuha I was used to. Maybe this was her true self. Whatever she wanted to talk to me about, I was sure I wasn't going to like it. Trying to bring me out here like this. Uncle Okanin. What did you want to talk about? I'm really not good at talking to people. I'm trying to persuade them, you know. The way she stumbled over her words, it was clearly something she didn't want to talk about. Say it, that's what the Ordu would have done, right? Yeah, you're right. Trying to break this to me gently? I see. Thanks. Not really like that. Because I got a little annoyed and tried to say something back to me, but ended up swallowing her words. To be honest, it was a bit of a shock at first. It was so different from the Suzuha I know. Can't help it. When the world line changes, so does the environment you grew up in. And that changes your personality and how you think. Yeah. But I don't think that anymore. You're still the Suzuha I know.
鈴葉はやっぱり
No, I really am different. Not the Suzuha Mane you know well, Uncle Okarin.
鈴葉
I followed you today.
私はオカリンおじさんを尾行したんだ。
尾行
Followed me?
そう。
Right.
病院の
All
中
the way
で
into the hospital.
ずっと
What did she say? Why would she do that? Oh, I knew the answer without even asking. There's only one reason she would do something like that.
俺が世界線を移動し
You
た
realized that I jumped ward lines.
気づいたのか
あのクリスマス
I'd
の
always
夜に
suspected that Divining Steiner might have
おじさんに
activated on
リーディング
Christmas
シュ
Eve.
タイナーが発動したんじゃないかと。あの日だけじゃ
Not
ない。
just then,
今
today
日も
too.
それで
And now I'm sure.
確信に変わったよ。
Deliberately avoided telling Suzuha that the ward line had changed. It was obvious that she would react like this.
聞かせて。
Tell me,
ここは
this is a
も
different ward line than it was
う前の
before.
世界線とは変わって。い
聞いてどうする
What will you do with the answer?
いから答
Just
え。
tell me!
これは命令だ。
This is an order,
太郎
Rintaro Wakabe. I gulped as I saw her pull a gleaming pistol out from her jacket. It was aimed right between my eyes.
冗談
It's a joke, right?
冗談でこんなこ
I
とを
wouldn't
し
do this as a joke. Like Suzuha was trying to revert to who she was when I'd first come to the Beta Ward line. The woman who put her mission above everything else. So desperate to even look at her. What would happen if she shot me here? I found myself lying on the ground in a pool of blood. Was it Kurisu? God damn it. My mind, the image overlapped with Kurisu's dead body. Closed my eyes and grit my teeth, trying to avoid a flashback. In the last month trying to escape to Okinawa in the middle of a war, I still wasn't used to having a gun pointed right at me.
もう一度聞く。
I ask you one more time.
世界線
Did
は
the ward
変
line
動したの
change?
か
Is this a different ward than it was before?
以前とは違う世界なのか。
Suzuha's hands were shaking a little as she held the gun. It would have been unimaginable when she'd first come here from the future. She was ashamed of it because she bit down on her teeth even harder. Oh god! She must have bit her lip when she did so because a single trail of blood ran down her jaw and dripped onto the ground. I heard the blood as I answered.
大丈夫だ
Don't worry. We're in the same ward line as we were before.
以前のままの世界線にいる
本当に
You're sure?
あ
Yeah.
一度
True that the ward
別
line
の
moved
世界線
once,
に移動したのは事実
but we
だ
came back.
再
I
び
think.
元に戻った
それをやったの
Who
は
was
誰だ
responsible?
ロシ
Russia?
アか
だと思う
I think so.
とうとうタイ
Means
ム
they finally started experimenting with the
開
time
始したって
machine.
ことか
He nodded.
それなら
And that means there's no time to waste.
得の猶予もないじゃないか連中が
They keep experimenting, something will happen that can't be changed. It might close the path to Steins Gate.
シュタインズゲートに続く道が閉ざ私はバカ
A
だ
fool.
悩んで
I
る
shouldn't
場合じゃ
have
なか
wasted
った
time worrying.
もうす
I'm
ぐ
done trying to get you to
終わ
change your mind.
どうする気だ
What will you do?
りだ岡部倫太郎
Tawakabe, you're going to follow my
私の
orders.
命令に従ってもらう
You're coming back to July 28th with me.
7月28日に行くんだ
拒否したら
And if I refuse,
拒否なんてさせ
I
ない
won't let you refuse.
お前はいい
Are
の
you okay with that?
何
この世界
Are you okay with erasing this ward line?
うるさい
Shut up! There was a horrible ringing in my ears and a fierce pain in my eardrums. And later, the smell of gunpowder passed by my face. It really shot at me.
次は脅しじゃなくて
Next time, it won't be a
当
threat.
てる
I'll shoot you. She was glaring at me as if she was about to cry. We stared at each other in silence. I tried as hard as I could to come up with something to calm her down, but nothing came to mind. Nothing I could come up with would get her to change her mind. What did I do? What are you doing? Suddenly I heard daughter's voice. And then saw that he'd just come out of the door near the stairs.
父さん
Dad?
どう
How?
あ
And a message from Mayushi and Amane said you'd contacted Okarin. I had a bad feeling, so I decided to look for you.
嫌な予感がして探してたんだ。あと、
And then I got a message from an unknown sender. And I don't send her. Send me a URL that led to a map of this place. Thought you might be here, so I came right over. And then I heard a gunshot, and it really scared me. His whole body was covered in sweat. Even as he spoke, large beads were appearing on his forehead. He really hurried. So Suzuha, what's with that gun? Suzuha wasn't actually... You wouldn't fire a gun if you didn't have a reason. Duh. Come on, Suzuha. Out with it. Dad, you know what it is. What's that? The wood line changed. Wish I started experimenting with the time machine. You sure? That's why I'm doing this! At this rate, it'll be too late to do anything. We won't reach Steins Gate. We won't be able to stop the Third World War. Lots of people would die. Mom would die. I won't be able to stop any of it. That would be really bad. But still, even if you threaten Ocarine and force him to go back to the past with you, is that really going to work? But his normally easygoing expression has suddenly turned serious. I've started to research the time machine and the world lines. I've kind of figured something out. I think Ocarine might be right, and it may be impossible to save Makiseshi the normal way. Now you're saying it too, Dad. The rules and causality of the world lines could be changed that easily. Ocarine should have been able to save Mayushi in the Alpha world line, right? This too must be the will of causality. School of thought that says that all things have a cause and an effect. The idea is at the core of relativity theory. However, it has been observed in the microscale world of quantum mechanics that causality does not always apply. And what am I supposed to do? Edo brought his fist up to his chest. That's what we're researching, right? But there's no time. Okay, let's leave it to me. I'll figure something out. I promise. I wish you'd listen to your dad once in a while. His voice was strong and kind in a way you'd never imagine he was capable of. Softly took the gun from Suzuha's hands. She didn't resist. Here, you forgot something that's way more important than a gun. On cold days like today, you should be wearing these. He's gonna give her the gloves from the Christmas party. But took something out of his pocket, pressed it into Suzuha's hands. A pair of handmade gloves. The present that Yuki had given her at the Christmas party. I remembered it well. He gave her the gloves. Warm tears started to flow down her face. Her shoulders shook as the tears poured down. I turned my eyes towards the time machine, silhouetted in the darkness. I decided I'm not getting back in that thing. No matter what Dad had said, no matter how Suzuha threatened me, I wasn't going back to the past. I can't look back. And now we have a crying Suzuha's perspective. Fantastic! I think she knew Suzuha was inside the time machine, wrapped up in a blanket. I've been crying a lot because she hadn't even noticed that she'd come inside the time machine, or that Ventara had left. Dad was next to her, also wrapped up in a blanket, looking at her. You calm down?
今何時？
What time is it? Wiped away the tears as she asked.
もうすぐ日付が
Almost a
変わる
new day.
ごめん、
Sorry to keep you out this
こん
late.
な時間まで付き合わせて。
平気平気
It's fine, it's fine.
前にも言ったし
Told you before, you can
父
always
さんの
count
こと
on your
い
dad.
くらでも頼っていいのだぜって。
うん。
Yeah. Time machine's hatch was still open and cold air was pouring in. When they spoke, they could see their breath turn white. It was still silent. She used the life support system in the cockpit to keep out the cold, but she didn't want to waste the energy. She rubbed her cheeks with her glove-covered hands. The gloves Yuki gave her were very warm, and her hands were the one part of her that wasn't cold.
僕さ、
No.
いつか必
And
ず
someday
僕ら
Okarin's
と
going to
一
work
緒
with
に
us. No.
いや違うな。
He's going to be our
僕ら
leader.
の先頭に立って指揮を
I was a little surprised to see Otaru speaking seriously. Only all Otaru ever did was screw around.
未来ガジェ
The
ット
future
研
gadget
究所
lab
は
only exists
オカリンがいて
because of
こそ
Okarin.
だから今はちょっと
Having a hard time right now,
きっと
but
立
he'll
ち
get
直る
over it. And then
同時に
Kiyomo Hoenn
遠い
will
日本
revive.
が蘇るわけ
No, the name Phoenix
貴重
isn't just for
な
show.
技じゃない的なその時が来たら
When that time
多分オ
comes,
カリンは
Okarin
自
will
分
probably
から
get in the
タイ
time
ムマ
machine
シンに
himself
乗るよ
without needing you to
さすが
tell
に言わ
him
な
to.
くってもね
I realized he thought it was trying to make her feel better. Suddenly, deep in her heart, it felt a little warmer.
父さん、
Dad,
すごく
do you
恥ずか
realize
しい
how
こと言って
embarrassing
る
the
の
things you're saying are?
自覚してる？
うわですよ
Yeah,
ね
you're right.
オカリン本人
No
に
way
向
I
け
could say that in front of
口が裂
Okarin.
けても言えないな
私、
I'm going to write a letter to Uncle
明日
Okarin
まで
before
に手
tomorrow.
紙書くよ。オカリンおじさんに。直接
If
顔
I,
見て
if I
話
try to talk to him directly,
すまた変な感
I'll
じ
end
に
up
なっちゃ
acting
うか
weird
ら
again.
ごめんなさいって
I'll tell him
言う
I'm sorry.
もうちょっとだけ
That I'm going to keep
もがいて
fighting
みるって
a little longer.
だから
I want him to
オ
just
カ
think
リン
about
おじ
this.
さんにも考えてみてほしい。そうは言っても
But still,
実は
there's really not a lot
もう
of
あ
time
んまり
left.
時間はないんだけど。
時間ないって
Not a lot of time?
ロシアが
Because
実験を
Russia
開
started
始
their
してたら
experiments?
実は
You see,
タイム
the
マシン
internal
を制
battery
御
for the
して
quantum computer that
量
controls
子
the
コ
time
ンピュータ
machine
ー
is just
の
about
内
to
蔵
run
電
out.
池もうすぐ切れそうなんだ。
マジで
Seriously?
前に
I
話
told you I
した
used the machine a lot starting in
カガ
1998
リを探すため
in order
に
to look for Kagari.
1998年からそれは
That wasn't part of the
当初
original
の計
plan.
画にはなかった行動なんだ。当然
Plus, that meant I had to use the computer that controls the machine more than I meant to.
予定より多くなって。
それでバッテリー
That
が
drained the
消耗した
battery?
ってことか
マシンそのもの
Battery's
の
actually closer to
燃
running
料
out than for
そ
fuel.
っちの方が深
It'd
刻
be
な
hard
ん
to
だ
make the machine jump the way it's supposed to.
マシンを正確に制御してジャンプさせることが
バッテリーだったら
It's just a battery. Can we swap it or recharge
すれ
it?
ばいいんじゃね
無理だよ。
No.
ちょっとだけ
Can I take a little look at it?
その内蔵電池見させてもらっていいかな
Zaha nodded and pointed to a piece at the core of the machine. Tato leaned his huge body forward to take a look. Soon he gave out a moan of confusion.
なんぞこれ
What is this thing? Battery was the same size as the car's, but it was the product of 2036 technology. Tato lived in the year 2010. There was probably no way he could understand it. In Tato's perspective, it might as well have been a black box of unknown technology. A quick look wouldn't tell him anything about how it was built or how it would work. There was one reason why Suzuha had agreed to let him look at it.
2010年
I
の
don't
技
think you
術
can
に
do
なんとか
anything with
するのは
2010's
無
technology.
理だと思う。言うなればそれ
Basically
は
the same as a
使い
disposable
替えの
battery.
電池と同じ
You
状態
can't
って
charge
こ
it,
と。
and you can't swap it out.
充電も交換もできない。
この時代のバッテ
Can
リ
you
ー
replace it with a battery or generator from this time? That shook her head helplessly.
とっくに
I
試し
tried
た
that a long time ago.
でも
but
不
it
可
didn't
能だっ
work.
た。ルミ姉さんに
I asked
頼
Big
んで
Sis Fumi to get me a
車
car
のバ
battery.
ッテリーを用意
Those
し
are
て
big
もら
ones
った
they
ん
used
だ
in trucks.
トラックとかに積まれてる大きなやつ。繋いでみた
I
ら
hooked it up and it didn't last a
1秒
second.
持たなかった。
なんで
What did you just say?
ガソリンを使う
I tried a gas powered
発電機を試して
generator,
みたけど
and it didn't work either.
それもダメだった。
Can't even imagine how much gasoline you'd need. We can't fit that much gas inside the machine anyway.
そんな量のガソリンマシンには積めないし。ルミ姉さんね、
Dexter's Fumi went through a lot of trouble to get me one of the latest fuel cell batteries.
最新の燃料電池まで手に入れてくれたんだよ。
But even that wasn't good enough.
未来の技
Future
術
tech is amazing.
すごいな。
All that power in something this small?
そんな大電力を賄ってるっつうわけ？
They were staring in amazement at the futuristic battery.
SF 映画み
Only we could use garbage as fuel, like in that one science fiction movie. I need fuel! Speaking of fuel. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute. How long is it gonna last?
多分
Probably
あと1
1 or 2 more jumps at most.
たったそれだけ？
That's all?
しかも
And even while the machine shut down, still calculating gravity fields and positional coordinates constantly. Even if we don't jump, battery will eventually run out.
ジャンプしなくてもいずれ電池切れになる。残ったバッテリー
About another 6 months of battery at most before we lose the ability to do an accurate jump.
あと半年が限界だろうね。
That's all the time we have to save Kurisu Makise.
そこまでってことになる。
Uzaha grabbed onto Utada's back and took a deep breath. It was squishy and it felt good.
バッテリーが切れて
Happens if the battery runs out and we can't control the machine.
失ったらカーブラックホー
We
ル
lose control of the clear black hole and are trapped beyond the event horizon for eternity.
永遠に戻ってこられないとか。
Knows the Schwarzschild radius, the point past which no information can be transmitted. Information transmission occurs via light and electromagnetic waves, but the incredible gravity at the center of the black hole makes it impossible for even light to escape. The boundary at which this occurs is the event horizon. Anything that occurs inside the event horizon cannot be observed from the outside. Since no light can escape, the center of a black hole appears black. A black hole existence is predicted by current theories of physics. Unlike other black holes, the singularity at its center rotates. While other black holes have the singularities at a single point, the curved black hole singularity is a ring. A computer capable of using quantum mechanical overlapping to perform parallel processing. While modern-day computers switch between two signals, 0 and 1, it performs their calculations. A quantum computer is capable of calculating these two signals at the same time. It allows for exponentially faster calculations, to the point where it is expected that quantum computing will change everything about the world we know. Practical quantum computers have not yet been built. Don't even say stuff like that. Bad luck. Yeah. Sorry.
でも
But I wonder
そこってさ
what it's like.
どんな場所なのかな。今みたいに
Wonder if
静
it's
かな
calm
時間が
and quiet like this.
永遠に
And it just stays that way. For eternity.
だったら
Maybe
それでも
that wouldn't be so bad.
いいな。
Clung to her father's warm back, Suzuha started to feel very sleepy. Let her guard down for a moment, she was sure to fall asleep. She'd been trained to fight it on the battlefield. This wasn't the battlefield. She was exhausted from crying. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to let herself sleep once in a while. Sat down and held her knees like a child. Softly closed her eyes.
そっか。結局
See,
鈴葉はこの夏までに
Suzuha's leaving
必
before
ず行っちゃうん
summer
だな。
ends. No matter what
たとえ
Okarin
オカリンが
decides.
どんな結論を出すとしても。
When she fell asleep, she thought she heard her father talking to himself. Back to Okarin, and he's not bad, but he is. Hello, Makise.
これは
This is truly paradise. Whose eyes were shining like a little girl's. How many girls would look like that if you brought them to a place like this? I was the one who'd brought her here, but she seemed to have forgotten about me entirely. She was wandering down the narrow corridors where all the computer parts were, as if in a daze. And she came to a stop in front of one of them. Inside the shop were lots of little plastic bins filled with junk parts of all sizes. They'd been taken off of discarded PCs and appliances. Each of them was obviously dirty, and lots of them were covered in dust.
これ
What's this board do, you think? Got a beautiful pattern, like a piece of art, and it's made out of aluminum.
しかもアルミナ基板だなんて。
Oh.
Oh. Yeah. Wow! That sound.
008イメージセンサーですって。信じられない。博物館にあってもおかしくないものがなんでこんなところに転がっているの。
Sorry, I'm just enjoying this voice acting right now. Yeah.
秋葉原、敷地に勝る場所だわ。
Watching the ecstasy on Maho's face creep me out a little.
魔法先輩は
This is who Maho really is.
人なのよ。
Kurisu spoke from inside my phone. Maho has said she wanted to go out with Kurisu today, so I ended up going on a strange date with two girls at once. Might be another test of Amadeus' capabilities. Been here a few times, but I've only ever seen one other person stare lovingly at computer parts like that. I know, you're talking about Hashida, right? Yeah. You're kinda bad for Maho. You're comparing her to him. What you said, he's an incredible pervert. That's right. That was rude to Hiyajo. It was early afternoon on a Sunday. There was a reason I'd come with Maho to the computer parts shop. But the Luskin and Maho were heading back to America in a few days. She was leaving soon, so she wanted me to show her around Akihabara like I'd promised. What her message had said. So we met in front of the station in the morning, and I asked her where she wanted to go. This was the result. By the way, our first stop was Yodobashi, and our second, Soft Map. I'd already taken her to a lot of used PC and retro PC shops tucked away in tiny alleys. You like these kinds of computer parts, Hiyajo? Not the parts, really. I just like building things. I used to make plastic molds all the time when I was a kid. Kid made from plastic parts but put together by following a manual. Did you make germanium radios and stuff? A radio that uses a germanium diode as a rectifier and requires no power supply. This term can also refer to the kits used to build them. They're simple enough for anyone to build, they're a common choice for elementary school summer break projects. I spent myself soldering all the time. Soldering iron. Mixture comprised mostly of lead and tin that is used to join metal components together. I did welding in high school, so I know what that means. Me too. Yes, everybody's the same way, aren't they? Sorry. Probably not everybody. Actually, I'd assume that it was a minority of people who soldered in their homes growing up. Yeah, I've never had a soldering iron at home. Wow, I could stare at this stuff forever. Why didn't I come sooner, I wonder? Like she was never going to leave unless I dragged her out. I only managed to succeed in getting her away from the parts shop by telling her it was time to eat. We went out to the main road. The area was close to the station, so it was especially crowded. Thanks to the crowds of people waiting to cross the street, you couldn't even walk in a straight line. Now then, where to eat? My first idea was make Queen Yan Yan, but after the way she reacted last time, it was probably best to avoid it. Still, Sampa wasn't a good choice for someone new to Akihabara. Yansen? Maybe Kitchen Jiro? Gyro? Go-Go Kiri would work too. A curry chain based out of Kanazawa, Ishikawa. It has stores all over Japan, but primarily in the northern and eastern parts of the country. It offers Kanazawa curry, which is famous for its thick roe, and katsu and cabbage on top. A restaurant chain found in downtown Tokyo as well as Kansai. It has a popular combo menu that offers a large amount of delicious food. In addition to the restaurants, it also offers a delivery service. They stood there thinking. I stopped moving in front of an arcade directly ahead of us. Evidently, she was looking at the crane games on the first floor. Can we take a little look inside? I nodded. Maho walked up to the crane game and pressed her face against the glass like a little kid. Inside the glass were characters from ad-channel memes, all of different sizes. I see Upas! Maybe Maho was a secret ad-channel like Kurisu. Is that Pedo Bear I see over there? They look like Pedo Bears. Pretty close, so it was possible. I leaned over to Maho and whispered a magic spell into her ear.
ヌルポ
Nulbo. What that channel is saying. It started on the programming board as a shortening of no pointer, and as of now has no meaning whatsoever. Whenever someone says it, it's tradition for someone else to respond, Gah! Will she do it? Do you think she's gonna do it, guys?
はい
Aww. I just confused her.
何その
What?
ぬる
What's a
って
no...
いうのは
What?
なんでもない
Nothing. Forget it.
聞いてくれ
Zombies still here?
お
Yep. Lisa was glaring cold daggers at me from inside the smartphone, but I decided to ignore it.
ヒアジョさん
Yeah, Joe.
そのぬい
You want that stuffed animal?
え
Yeah.
えかわいい
It's
じゃない
cute, isn't it, Kurisu?
先輩
Oh!
何
What?
どうして慌て
Why do
て
you
るの
look so flustered? It's nothing.
ちょっと意外だ
Well,
な
a surprise, honestly.
さっき
You said you liked computer parts, so I figured your taste would be more boyish.
感性としては男に近いのかもって思ってた
Kabe, you need to learn some tact. Say something romantic, like, the gap between my expectations and reality is really cute.
あ
Sorry.
いいわよ
It's fine, really.
実はね
Actually, Kurisu had one of these stuffed animals in her bedroom.
クリスがベッドルームに置いていたのよ
そうなの
Did she? Look, she just... The expression changed.
もしかして
Senpai! You buy it off the internet and have it shipped to America?
アメリカまで取り寄せてた
Does it really matter?
さすが
As you can tell, she's a secret ad
チャ
channeler.
ンネラーだな
What's an ad channeler? Never heard of it.
ヌルポ
That voice clip. Even as it's part of Amadeus, she hadn't changed a bit.
ヒアジョさん
Yeah, did Kurisu ever tell you what kind of
これは
character
何
this
という
was?
キャラなのか教えてくれたか
いいえ
No.
何度か
I asked several times, she kept dodging the question.
されたわ
I'm sure.
だからずっと
So I always kind of wondered.
岡部さんは
Do you know, Okabe?
うーん
Well...
岡部
Okay, this voice actress is doing an amazing job right now. Need to hear. Oh, I can't hear it if I don't. Damn it. A chill ran down my spine as I heard the angry voice from the smartphone.
岡部
俺も
I don't actually know.
そう
I see. Jeez, I defended your honor, Kurisu. You should better be grateful.
ちょっと挑戦
Can I give it a
してみ
try?
たら
Playing the Christmas music. I took her wallet out of the pocket and put a 100 yen coin into the machine.
と
You move this arm back and forth to grab the stuffed
左右
animal,
に
right?
操作してぬいぐるみをつかめばいいのね
Also get a green Upa
初め
keychain.
てなのか
You've never done this before.
真帆先輩は
I only ever play racing games.
そういうこと
That's right. Her nodded and pushed the control button, managing to move the arm directly over her target. She smiled, satisfied.
簡単な
It's simple. Now you just wait for the arm to automatically grab it, right?
あいや
Oh, well, normally, yeah. Oh, jeez. Thank you for the follow. That scared me. The arm went straight for the door, but the angle was slightly off, and it didn't grab it right. That doesn't make sense. What just happened? What is this face? She has had like 3 different faces this entire playthrough. And then the stuffed animal down is just like, ah. No Kabe though. That's what happens your first time. I gave it 7 more tries, but didn't seem to get the hang of it. Ronan took a last 300 yen to the back of the arcade. He walked over to a game with a red and white two-tone Formula 1 car on the side of the cabinet. He slid inside, still angry. I remember that one was a CG racing game based off of real circuits. You know they actually have a... Look at those figures. They have a VR Mario Kart game in Japan that you can try, but I think it's like... How much was it again for one playthrough? Was it like 20 bucks or was it more than that? Oh, it was way more.
Huh?
What is it? Now's your chance to show your manliness. Manliness. My manliness? Get that stuffed animal that Maho couldn't, I mean. Oh, I see. Give it to Maho. Was that what she was trying to tell me? Manliness aside, after seeing how badly she wanted it, I did want to try and help her. Some coins out of my pocket and checked how much money I was carrying. Yeah, it's been a while, but let's try this. And honestly, I'm not very good at these games either. Even so, 8 drinks, I think. I lost count. I was sure I could do better than Maho. May as well give it a try. Nothing. She looks disappointed. She's like, "Whoop." The leg. Oh, the disappointment. And so after trying several times, whether it was luck or skill, I managed to get the stuffed animal easier than I expected.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. I stuffed it into a bag and went back to the racing game I was playing. For some reason, there was a crowd of about 10 people around it. Wow, who is that girl? Gallery. Don't ask me. Yes, the portrait is speaking, not any person. Is she in elementary school? I can't believe how good she is. Think she'll set a new record? I was whispering to one another. All of them seemed to be amazed. I made my way into the crowd and looked at the screen. The game Maho was playing was one of those where you had to clear each stage in a set time, or else it would be game over. With each race, the course got more and more difficult. It was placing first every time with ease. The crowd watched in awe. She finally made it to the end of the last stage, well ahead of the other races. She'd set a new record. She had a satisfied smile on her face as she looked at the flashy congratulations graphic on the ending screen. She noticed the crowd around her and her body jerked. Congratulations, you set the record for our store! Okay, employee walked over to Maho and started to clap. And the crowd started to clap as well. Maho's face went beet red. I should probably help her. Pushed my way through the crowd and grabbed her hand to pull her up. Let's go. Oh, yeah. I saw. Is that a Sega symbol I see right there? A logo, I mean. The Travis. We made our way through the hustle and bustle and finally got out of the arcade. Maho sighed in relief. That was careless of me. What was? I got mad, and I got serious. Because of this? And held the bag with my prize in it. What? He opened the bag and took out the stuffed animal. This? You got it? I got lucky. You can have it as a present. Really? It won't do me any good. Really? Okay. I'll take it then. This is what you say a tsundere line like Kurisu and be like, it's not like I want to take it. I hugged the doll tight to her chest with the innocent smile of a child. Seeing how happy she was made me happy too.
クリスが亡くなった後
Chris died. My mom showed me a lot of the things she left behind.
手紙をいろいろともらったわ。けど、
This was something that
これ
Khaleesi really
は
loved.
クリスがとても可愛がって
My mom
いた
kept it in her own bedroom.
お母さん、自分のベッドルームに飾っていたのよ。
You didn't know it was from an ad channel meme, it was actually pretty cute. They are keeping it as a memory of her daughter.
だけど、
But
クリスの
after what happened to Khaleesi's house,
ああいうことに
I'm
な
sure
っ
it
て
burned up too.
ぬいぐるみも燃えてしまったと思うの。先輩。
Oh.
だから、
So can I give this to
こ
a
れは
mom in
アメリ
America?
カのお母さんにプレゼントしていいかしら。
もちろん
Of course.
喜んでも
I
らえる
think she'll like it.
それが
That's what would be best.
ありがとう。
Thanks. Khaleesi.
さてと
Okay.
次は
What next? Any place else you want to see?
と言ってもアニ
So
メ
I
や
guess
ゲ
you
ームの
could
ショップ
wouldn't be
なんかは
interested in anime or game stores. Ishimaru. Is that the name of Taka? Yotaka Ishimaru, right?
クリス、
Khaleesi.
悪
I'm
いけ
sorry,
ど
but can you leave me alone with Okabe
し
for
ば
a
ら
little while?
く岡部さんと二人きりにしてくれる？先輩、
Maho,
ついに
you finally decided to be honest with yourself.
したんですね。岡部、
Okabe, don't screw this up.
はあ
先輩、
Good luck, Maho. Bye.
それじゃ。
Yajo,
ひ
行きたい場所、
one more place I want to go.
もう一つあるんだけれど。
Oh god. The radio building, isn't it?
そうか
Yeah?
どこだ
Where is it? Someplace you didn't want Khaleesi knowing about?
あそこよ。
You can guess where,
わかるでしょ。
right? I was gone from Maho's face. Like she'd come to some kind of decision. And I realized where she wanted to go.
ラジカンに連れ
Caught
て
it.
って。
Take me to the radio building. The radio building. Wanted me to take her there. I understood immediately, because that was where Khaleesi Marcuse had died. Gone up to the roof several times since then. The time machine was there, and Suzuha and Dada would go up once in a while to do maintenance. A few days ago, Suzuha had called me out there and pointed a gun in my face. But even so, 9 drinks. I'd never been to that storeroom on the 8th floor where it had happened. I didn't bring myself to do it. Remembering what happened was enough to cause a severe flashback. There was no way I could visit the site of her death.
大丈夫。
Are you okay?
ずいぶん
You
顔
look
色
really
が悪い
pale.
けれど。クリスのこと
Are you thinking about Kurisu?
思い出してしまう
Of
の。
course he is.
そう
Yeah,
だろうな
guess so.
辛いなら
You don't have to come with me if
つ
it's
い
going
て
to
こ
be
なく
hard
て
for
もいい
you.
わ。
I'll go by myself.
私一人で行くから。
Face was colorless, knowing that had to be hard on her too. But even so, 10 drinks. She was trying to come to grips with Kurisu's death. I wanted to help her remember our friend. The radio building was going to be renovated. Wasn't a lot of time.
いや
No,
一緒に行くよ
I'll go with you. After the shops had already been moved to another building to make way for the renovation, many of the shops on the 7th floor were still open. Six months ago, on July 28th, I killed Kurisu on the floor just above where I was standing. My own hand.
ここなの。
Is this the place?
いや
No.
事件があった
Happened on the next floor.
この上の階
That's what I was told.
だと聞いている
I was supposed to have been at the scene of Kurisu's death. I'd already asked my Yuri and daughter not to tell anyone.
上には何が？
What's upstairs?
イベント会場と
Event hall.
あとは
Some storerooms and
倉
stuff.
庫とかになってる
行ってみても
Can we go up there?
いいのかしら。
今は立ち入り
Should be off limits right now. The rope that always blocked off the way to the 8th floor wasn't there today. I hear loud voices and laughter from above. If it was a day off, there must have been some kind of event going on upstairs.
大丈夫そうね。
Like it's okay. I headed up the stairs first.
Oh.
Slowly dragged myself up the stairs. passed by the event hall and into the back. It looked like there was no one around. Nothing had changed in 6 months.
ここだ。
This is it. No lights on, and the place seemed dark and lonely. Time the storeroom was locked.
そう
See,
こんな場所
there
で
was a place like this. I could see her lips trembling as she whispered. Something strange. The place where Kurisu had died, covered in blood. Yet nearby, the rest of the world continued on like it didn't care. Now I'd come back, and know this was where the one I loved had died.
もどかしいわ。
Frustrating.
私は物
I'm
理
a
学者ではない
physicist,
から
but I don't know all
相
there
対
is
性
to
理
know
論の
about
ことを詳
relativity
細に
theory,
理解
but
しているわけではないけれど、時間と空
space
間
and
が
time
同
are
列だと
essentially
いう
the
のな
same
ら、
thing.
なぜ
And why
空
can't
間
we
と
move
同
through
じよう
time
に
as easily as we can move
時
through
間も容
space?
易に移動できないのかしらね。今私たちは
Spatially,
空
we're on
間
the
的
same
には
axis as Kurisu's
ク
death.
リスの死と同
That
じ
tiny
軸上
little
にい
gap
る
on
の
the
よ。
temporal axis means
なのにあなた
you asked Kurisu.
この前クリス
Oh, I
に
mean the Amadeus Kurisu. An interesting question before.
面白い質問。タイムマシン
Whether it was possible to
を作れ
create
る
a
かどうか
time machine.
あ
Yeah.
ぜひ研究
I'd
してみ
love
て
it
ほ
if
し
you
い
could
わ
look into it.
真っ
I'd
先に
volunteer for the
私が
first
友
man
人テストに
test.
名乗り出るから。
Couldn't tell from the tone of her voice if she was serious or joking. She laughed, sadly. Time machines are real, you know. There's one right above us. What would she do if I told her that? You blame me for giving up on saving Kurisu? Say she'd go back to the past herself?
岡部さん、
Kabe,
クリスが
can you
亡く
tell me
なった
about
時の
how
状況に
Kurisu
つい
died?
て。私、
I don't know
詳
the
しくは知ら
details.
ないの。
俺だって
I don't really know myself.
ろくに知らないよ。
Didn't I tell you that before?
前にそう話さなかったか。
でも、
You know more
ア
than
メ
I
リ
do,
カにい
right?
た私よりは詳
I
し
was
い
in
でしょ。
America.
クリスは
What was Kurisu doing?
どうし
in
て
a place
こん
like
なところ
this?
に来たのかしら。クリスが死
On
ん
the
だ
day
時
she died,
すぐそこ
there
の
was
イ
an
ベン
event
トホール
going
で
on
も
like the one happening
今
now.
日みたいにイ
Right?
ベントが行われていたそうね。
Hear the occasional sounds of laughter coming from the event hall.
中鉢博士、
Dr. Nakabachi
去年の夏、
made the
ニュ
news
ー
last
スに
summer.
なった。ロシアに亡
And
命
that he
して
sought asylum in Russia.
タイムマシ
He
ンに
wrote a
関する
paper on
論
time
文を書い
machine.
たって。その論文の内
Supposedly,
容は、それは
paper
ひどいもの
itself
だ
was
ったらしいけれ
terrible.
ど。ただ、
But that made me remember
それ
something.
でピンときたのよ。
Those guys who set fire to Kurisu's
ア
house
メ
in
リカで
America,
クリスの家に放火した
speaking
連中も
Russian.
ロシア語を話していた。これ、
Is that a coincidence?
偶然かし
You
ら。
think?
私は
I think the two events
何らかの関連性があ
connected
ると思
somehow.
う。だから、
I decided to look
中
into
鉢
Dr.
博士について
Nakabachi.
調べようと思ったんだけど。
Strangely, there's barely any
不思議
information
な
on
こと
him.
に、驚くほど
You
情
look
報がないの。
online, you won't even
ネッ
find
トで
his
検
real
索して
name.
も本名すら出てこない。中鉢博士
Those
について
blogs and
言及
websites
して
that
いる
talked
ブロ
about
グや
Dr.
サイトを見に
Nakabachi
行っても
are gone
ほ
now.
とんどは閉鎖してるわ。
All of them disappeared in the last 6
しかも
months.
この半年ほどで立て続けに。ね
Tell me,
え、一体クリ
what
ス
the
の
hell
周
was
りで
Kurisu caught up
何が
in?
起きていたの？もしかして
Is it perhaps
今もま
still
だ
going on?
それは続いているの？あなたは
Are you hiding
何を
something?
隠しているの？
My eyes were pure and sought the truth. Kurisu used to get that exact same look in her all the time.
好奇心で
You shouldn't get involved
足を突っ
out
込
of
まない方がいい
curiosity.
俺はもうたくさんだ。
Done with all this.
今更だわ。
Too late.
私は
I'm
片足を
already
突っ込んで
involved.
しまっているのよ。それに
I've been wondering if the reason we were
考えてしまう
attacked
の
before wasn't because of me.
この前襲われたのももしかすると
君のせ
Because
い
of you?
狙われる理由
The
がある
reason someone would come after you?
私は
And she paused for a moment.
私は
I have some of Kurisu's
クリス
belongings.
の遺産を持っている。
Belongings? Kurisu's belongings? What does she mean? It was said that after Kadisu died, she'd gone to her home in America and received some of her belongings from her mom. Saying now that the attack was because of that? My mind began to race. Russia. Oh god. Oh god. We're doing this thing where we're capsing on a lot of stuff that happened, and the last time this happened, my Yuri got shot. Well, Dr. Nagabachi has sought asylum. People who attacked Kurisu's home spoke Russian. Just a few days ago, the Russians probably had experimented with change in the past. They had said that World War III would be set off by the time machine. Time machine. Nagabachi's paper? Paper he'd written about the time machine. Cause of the Third World War. Miraculous, nightmarish paper which would cause the deaths of 5.7 billion people. The time machine he discussed at his press conference was a rip-off of Giant Titan's. The one in the paper was different. Never managed to read it, though. My guess was that Kurisu had showed him the original that she'd written on July 28th. His paper was an inferior copy. Kurisu had written down instructions for making a time machine. Shuddered. We booted up the Vine program on my smartphone. Paged through my chat logs. The hard drive in that laptop contained the data for the original version of Nagabachi's paper. Maybe Kurisu's paper. Up in hard drive. Were given to Dario. The person who gave them to him? Looked at Maho. Looked back at me without smiling. Nodded. Yeah. It was me. From Maho's perspective, there were too many things about Kurisu's death that didn't make sense. Maybe that was why she had decided to look into why Kurisu was dead. Well, she'd assumed there were hints hidden inside her laptop and hard drive. My hypothesis was right. The laptop was too dangerous to be allowed to exist. Pandora's box with the power to unleash the Third World War. Why didn't you tell me? Box given to mankind by the gods in Greek mythology. They were told never to open it, but a girl named Pandora let the curiosity get the best of her and opened it anyway. The box was filled with disasters, all of which were unleashed upon the world. Said that the one thing that remained in the box was hope. At first, I didn't know that you and Hashida were friends. It was really just a coincidence that I gave it to him. It seemed to me like you were hiding something about Kurisu. You really think I tell you everything? Wasn't that I didn't trust you, but I thought it would be the best to be cautious when it came to Kurisu. Yeah, you were right about that. Letting me test Amadeus part of your plot. Don't call it a plot. You're Kurisu's friend. I just wanted to know more about you. Find Kurisu's secrets? I wanted to know more about her. You glared right back as if challenging me. Have you cracked it yet? Not yet. Well, I wanted to talk to you before I headed back to America. That's why she brought me here? I'll dial you right now. Yes, hello? You're at the lab now? No. Where are you? This is a serious moment! I want to talk to you about your part-time job. Oh, that? Remember any info on Makiseshi? Yeah. Of course, that was a lie. You'd be in danger if I didn't get that laptop back right now. That's about Maho.
じゃあさ、
You said it over Ryan then?
もらえるかな。
直接会って話を
Talk in
し
person. Can you meet me at the lab?
今手
I'm
が
all tied
離せ
up
ない
right
から
now.
夕方で
Can
も
it
いい
wait till evening?
エロゲなんて
You can
後
play
で
your
いく
H
らでも
games
できる
later,
だろ
man.
左遷
My bad.
家で
I lied about the
エロゲ
H
してるってのは
games.
嘘。
I'm actually busy at my job.
バイト中で手が離せないんだよね。
Often used as part of the phrase, lol, lol, my bad. Lol. Died. Lol, lol, you died. Well, theoretically, an apology is more often used to provoke or annoy someone.
バイト
Job? I was lying to him too, so I didn't really have room to talk.
じゃあ
Okay.
本当は
Where are you really? Can't
手
believe
が
I
離
come
せ
to
ない
you.
ならこっちから行
I
く
just need to talk to you right now.
とにかく今すぐに話したい
あんま
I really didn't want to tell you. I do a lot of dangerous work.
やばげな仕事も多いから。
What, did he become a rounder?
まあいいや。
Or whatever.
わかった。
Fine.
これから言うところ
Come
に
to the address I'm about to give you. The location he gave me was still in Akihabara, less than 5 minutes away. Down an alley, a few turns off Main Strip, all the hustle and bustle of the crowd completely disappears. We were on the 7th floor of an old mixed-use building. We were in Akihabara at the center of Tokyo. Went over the day and Sunday, and still the alleyway we'd come in seemed lonely and abandoned. There we found the shop Dada had told us about. What? Honey? The cute anime-style sign on the steel door that read Cosplay Media at Akihabara. We're open, come on in. Oh god, frickin'. Not doing anything right now. God damn it, stop it! I'm not shopping with Luca. Do you want to join us, Sakabe? So I'd be busy. Who are you? I'll meet up later. Right now? We're in Ikebukuro. Oh, they're both in the chat. I see that. Yep. I'm in Akihabara. I see. Too bad. Get straight home when you're done shopping. Why? Because I say so. Got a bad feeling. A premonition? Happen? Oh. No, I mean the weather. Might rain. Skies are clear here. Not a cloud in the sky. Just my intuition. Can we just head straight home after you're done shopping? Okay, got it. Understood. Fire gecko. It's a frog, but I call it gecko. Well, okay, so I skipped text. The cute anime, the store was jammed full of cosplay outfits. The wall near the entrance held the new Revivers corner and popular cosplay sections, as well as cosplay wigs, ribbons, jewelry, and props. The other wall had the used outfit section and a shoes section stocked with socks, school shoes, heels, and boots. Trying to see if I recognize any of these characters right now. I mean, one has an ahoge. The one right above me, right there. Oh, I see like a pink Hatsune Miku. Wait, no, sorry. Sailor Moon, that's one of the Sailor Moon characters, I think. I'm gonna be scouring this room the entire day. Even further back, you can see rows of school swimsuits and competition swimming outfits. The place sold mainly to girls, but this clearly wasn't a location where women would feel comfortable. The other tenants of the building were all shady shops with names like Drops of the Spirit God Inc., Space Radio Receiver Cells, and Flower Petal Video Project.
君は
Who ever been here before?
いいえ、
No.
前に会った
Last
時
time
は
we met, it was in a
別の
different
雑居
building.
ビルだったから
Wasn't much better than this one, though.
同じような怪しいお店だったけど
I see.
そうか
Like I'd seen Dada's dark side. That was completely silent. No customers other than us. The thin man with long hair at the counter, who looked like he worked there, but he didn't even raise his head up from his magazine when he came in. To be honest, ever since I'd entered, I'd worried that someone would think I was up to something illegal. Anyone who saw me would think I was a pervert taking a middle school girl to a shady cosplay shop.
おい、オカリン、こっち。
Over here, Kochi! I appeared from the back of the shop. There had been no sign of him a second ago.
つうか、
Wait,
マホタンも一緒だったんだ
Mahotan's
ね
with you too, huh?
その真帆
Did you
さん
stop calling me Mahotan?
やめて
なんで？
Why? It's cute. I feel like I'm being insulted.
そんなことより
Get that. But where did you come from,
ど
Daru?
こから出てきた
Man at the counter hadn't said anything. Meant they knew he was here.
とりあえずこっち
Come with me. Daru headed to the back of the store. Now the rows of hanger racks holding idol cosplay outfits was pulled forward, and behind it I could see a curtain. Past the curtain was a tiny space that led to a door marked staff only. Hanger rack hadn't been moved. I had no idea this was here.
まるで忍者
Like
屋
an
敷
old ninja mansion. That is a lot of figures. I see Gundam, I see lots of girls. A lot of manga up there. See 3 more figures. Set player, a mixer. DCR. A bunch of obvious spin-off of Coke. I think that's the one with the, like, what's it called? The sugar, the real sugar that they keep on bragging about. See lots of manga. See the phones, remotes. How many monitors are there? 6 monitors. Looks like, I know the one over here are computer monitors, but the one up top looks like a CRT. And the ones on the sides, I cannot tell. A watch and earphones. Well, no, the room itself may have been pretty big, but darkness made it feel very cramped. Honestly, hard to breathe. 4 desks in the center surrounded by metal racks. Desks on the floor were piled high with all manner of computers and peripherals. But boxes and bags littered everywhere. I couldn't tell if they were trash or not. Piles of magazines, games, plastic models, and figure boxes. The desk was covered in garbage just like the one at the lab. It's too dark to tell, but I was sure the figures he had on display were covered in dust. What did he need 6 monitors for anyway? Didn't display an image of the store. Evidently, it was footage from a security camera. Given the size of the store and the lack of customers, even these 3 cameras would have been too many.
ま適
Well,
当に座っ
sit
て
down, I guess.
座れる場所なん
No
て
place to sit down.
今スペース
I'll make you a
作るわ
space. I would kick aside the boxes on the floor to make room, then set down 2 folding chairs.
お前
What's the deal with you and the
店とは
shop?
どういう関係なんだ
バイ
Hmm.
トリーダーみたい
I'm
な
kind of like the leader of us
結
part-timers.
構こういう
I work for a lot of
油の
underground
乗せ
places like
掛け持
this.
ちしてるんだよねでさ
And so sometimes they'll let me use their offices like
使わ
this.
せてもらってるわけ
裏のバ
For
イ
your
ト
secret job?
そういうこと
Yep. Maybe there was a lot more to Daru than I thought.
ここにあるもの
All this stuff in here yours.
お前のし
いや
Nope.
他のバイト
It's shared with the rest of the
の皆
part-timers.
さんも共有財
I
産
don't have enough money to
的な
buy all this stuff.
さすがにこんなにたくさん買えるほどお金持ってないし
So he said, but who knew if that was true?
Hmm?
Amadeus? Oh god.
Nanda.
What is it?
あんた
I stay with
真
Maho.
帆先輩と一緒よね
Oh,
Oh yeah,
一緒だが
we're together. Why?
どうかしたの
What's up?
レスキネン教授
Just heard from Dr. Leskinen.
和光市の
The office in Wako City has been ransacked by someone.
えあと
You just got a call from Maho's hotel.
連絡が来て
Someone raided it
そっちも
too.
誰かに侵入されたみたいですなんですって
What did you say?
すぐにレスキ
You'll hear from Dr. Leskinen soon.
はずですけど
I wanted to tell you
少し
ASAP.
でも早く知らせた方がいいと思って
ありがとうクリス
Thanks, Kirisu.
ヒアジョーさんのこと
Odo and I are looking out for Hyajo, so don't worry.
そうね
That's right.
頼むわ
Counting on you guys.
それじゃ
Bye. Is Dada gonna ask about Kirisu? Maho looked down and bit her lip.
懸念していたこと
What
が
I was afraid would happen.
現実になったな狙いは
After Kirisu's laptop and
間
hard
違いなくク
drive.
リスのノート PC とハードディスク
えマ
Oh,
ジで
seriously?
場所を変えた方が
Probably
いいかもしれない
ここは安全
This
だと
place
思
is
う
safe
けど
though.
なんとなく嫌
Got a bad feeling. Tuition, you could call it.
わかったわ
Got it.
それで
Oh.
ノート
And
PC
where's the laptop and hard drive? He decided and grabbed a locked, fire-resistant case off one of the racks. He opened it. The way he hid it? Wow, book. The laptop was a deep red Japanese model with a 12-inch LCD screen. Our drive was American, from a brand known for equipping its drives with a shock-resistant rubber case. Take it and get out of here. Both Maho and Daru nodded silently. And this is getting good. I knew this was gonna get good, but still. PC at 21. And as we left the building, I could see a car coming down the empty alleyway. It was a big American RV. We could hit ourselves in the shadows of another building. Intuition was right. The RV stopped in front of the building we just left. 3 men came out. None of them were Japanese. They were all dressed in black suits, almost like Men in Black. An American urban legend, it is said that they are secret government agents who appear without warning before UFO witnesses or researchers to put a stop to their activities. Not known whether any such secret agency actually exists. The name comes from the fact that they dress in all in black and wear black sunglasses. A movie of the same name, based loosely on the urban legend, helped popularize the idea. Whatever they were, they weren't Akihabara tourists. That was close. Her went pale when she saw the men go into the building. She seemed to be shaking a little too. Like movie. Can't believe it's real. But they found out about this place though. Girl, you didn't screw up somehow, Daru? Who do you think I am? A super hacker, right? Hacker! Right. And make sure I don't get caught. Either that, or Hiyajo and I were tailed. Don't scare me. They raided your office and hotel room in Wako City. I'm sure they've been watching you this whole time. Oh, right. I seemed to suddenly remember something. She took out her smartphone and made a call. I need to contact the professor. Tell him to hide somewhere for today. Meet up with him. It could put him in danger. Oh, nodded. Oh, in Maho's perspective now. We're in Ferris's. The tower took Maho to Ferris Nyan-Nyan's home. On the top floor of the high-rise building in the center of Akihabara. Nothing else was sure to be more secure than the ancient building they'd just been in. Ferris welcomed the two of them, offering them food and a place to sleep. I'd have returned alone to the Future Gadget Lab to meet up with Suzuha. The existence of this laptop could bring disaster. Oh my god, we're gonna see a lot more of Akabi talking, aren't we? Get rid of it. Once they both calmed down, she started to talk to him about what they were going to do with Kurisu's computer. He didn't budge an inch. Usually he was an introvert who never pushed too hard for anything, but this time he was extremely stubborn. Of course, so was Maho. I at least want to crack the password and see what's inside. Right now we can't do that, but there's no time for that. Get rid of it now. Best thing would be to destroy it. Destroy it? But this is something Kurisu left us, you know? Thought you were a little more logical than this. I didn't think you were this cold. Those words made him flinch. Something bad had happened to him. That's how it seemed to her. It was easy to assume that it had something to do with Kurisu, so she decided to ask him what he had gone into earlier during the fest this afternoon. It seemed like you're hiding something about what happened to Kurisu. What I know doesn't matter. I could tell he wasn't going to share. They hadn't been interrupted this afternoon. Would he have told her? Anyway, what should we do with the computer? A computer isn't just something an old friend used to own anymore. At the center of an international power struggle. What kind of crazy conspiracy theory is this? Still think it's a conspiracy theory after what happened today? Saw those foreigners in black suits, didn't you? Your office and your hotel room were ransacked. Someone set fire to Kurisu's house. And then after that, your lab was visited by mysterious men claiming to be from the FBI. And then the attack at the hotel might have had something to do with this too. How these impossible events keep happening one after another. It's not a coincidence. Still, an international power struggle? The whole thing just seemed like too much of a stretch for her. Trying to connect every single event was a trap that conspiracy theorists often fell into. In fact, most things that happened didn't really mean anything. You had to tell him that what she said next surprised her. John Titor's prophecy going to come true now.
John Titor?
Maho had never heard that name before. Time traveler from the year 2036, who appeared on American message boards 10 years ago. I know for a fact that he's real. I've met him myself. Oh god, Okabe's laying down all the truth right now. This is gonna get interesting. John Titor says World War III will occur in 2015. Cause will be time machine. Are you making fun of me? I am being very serious. You wanted to know about Dr. Nakabachi, right? He's Kurisu's father. Possible that Kurisu may have been involved in the paper he wrote. What did you say? I had read Dr. Nakabachi's paper out of curiosity. Last summer, he'd proudly announced his paper on time travel to the entire world just before fleeing to Russia. The paper itself, however, was so poorly written that it was of no value whatsoever. I didn't believe that Kurisu might have been involved in writing it. What if his version was an inferior copy of an original that Kurisu wrote herself? What's inside Kurisu's computer doesn't actually matter right now. What matters is that there are people who want it. Give me a second, I need to process all of this. Could what Ventara was saying be true? A moment to think. Normally she wouldn't give something like this a second thought. What had been happening around her lately just wasn't normal. She didn't outright deny it. Besides, she was nursing a conspiracy theory of her own. I also thought that someone might be after this computer. But what you're saying is just so different than what I expected. I just know this is the room where Ventaro talked. God damn it! Ventaro talked to Ferris in the Gmail scene. What did you expect? Thought it might be about using Amadeus for military purposes. Military purposes? They spent a lot of time at the God, I can't say words. She said sometimes she'd be visited by people who looked like they didn't belong there at all. Psychophysiology lab. Good lord. One of the labs at Victor Conway University, while the Brain Science Institute attempts to understand the processes behind thought and memory by examining the systems used by the brain itself, the psychophysiology lab's goals are far more medical in nature. They develop new medical treatments by researching the biological and physical effects caused by the mind's workings. The lab's research covers a wide range of areas, including perception, recognition, reflexes, learning, sleep, alcohol addiction, and schizophrenia. Yet she thought that they were from the Department of Defense. The United States Department of Defense, also known as the Pentagon due to the shape of the building it's located in. It's America's most high-level defense agency, responsible for controlling the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Did Amadeus kill someone? How? Well, for example, you could take the memories of a veteran pilot and copy them and use them to control drones. And remember what I said about medical applications? You mean copying memory data back to the brain? Yeah. Could alter memory data and then send it back to the brain. It makes soldiers who didn't feel fear, or who could carry out any kind of unethical mission without hesitation. Oh. Is that why the soldier didn't It seemed like he didn't feel pain.
私はてっきり
I thought it was that Kurisu had found proof that they were running experiments like
して
that.
しまったんじゃないかと思っていたの。
なあ、
Hey,
アマデウスの
the US military aren't involved in researching Amadeus, are they?
しないよな。
するわけないでし
Of
ょ。
course not.
本当にそう
Are
いう
you
気で
sure? You're just a scientist.
研究者であ
You're not the head of the project.
プロジェクトの総
Is
責任
Dr.
者じゃない。
Leskinen behind it?
レスキネン教
Dr. Leskinen wouldn't let the military get involved
関
either.
係ないわ。
だよな。
You're right.
あれは別
Well,
の
that
世界
happened
線
in
の
another
話
world
だし
line.
世界線
World line?
何のこと
What are you talking about?
いや、
No. Forget
忘
it.
れてくれ。
I'm overthinking
俺
things.
の考えすぎだと思う。
It didn't seem like he'd really meant that. That really bothered her. She wanted to hear more about John's Haita, but he didn't tell her anything else. She couldn't crack the security on Kurisu's laptop and hard drive. It did Maho no good to carry them. Just like when Tara said, those attackers scared her. She decided she had no choice but to give them to him. He didn't tell her whether he was going to destroy them or not. Back to Rintaro?
魔法無事でよかった
So glad you're safe. When she arrived at the office in Wako City, Dr. Leskinen was already there. He came over and gave her a big hug.
教授
Professor, you're hurting me!
Oh,
Oh, sorry. You'd heard that the office had been ransacked, but whatever had happened had already been cleaned up.
教授が片
Did
付
you
け
clean
た
up, Professor?
荒らされた
It was ransacked, but only your and my things were here, so there wasn't a lot to begin with.
荷物も多くなかったからねあとは
I've left the rest in the hands of the police. Days had passed since the office had been ransacked. Maho had spent both of them at Ferris's home, and only today had she gotten in touch with Dr. Leskinen and gone to Wako City to get her things. They were both going back tomorrow just as planned. It meant they were saying goodbye to this office.
犯人は
They still haven't caught the guy who did it,
まだ捕まっていないんですよね
right?
ああ
Yeah.
日本に
Yeah. Been one thing after another since we came to Japan, hasn't it?
ですね。
It sure has. Two of them looked around the empty office. Been a busy 2 months.
魔法はどう
So what did you think, Maho? Japan's your other homeland, right? What did you make of it?
早く大学
Can't
に
wait to get back and
戻
start
って
on my
研
research.
究に打ち
Like I've been
込みたい
doing
です
nothing
ね
but putting reports together for the past 2
こ
months.
の2ヶ月資料をまとめてばかりだった気がするので
You're so serious, Maho.
それと
That and
クリスが
I'm glad I was able to experience the place where Kurisu spent her last
この国の
days.
空気を感じることができたのは
魔法
She still hadn't figured out why Kurisu had died. Actually, she had even more questions now. It bothered her to go home with so many questions left unanswered. Only when Taro had told her everything he knew.
そういえば
Come to think of it, thoughts suddenly occurred to Maho.
アマデウスのテスターの件はどうします
What are we doing with Amadeus' tester? Well, she meant Rintaro Okabe. Both Maho and Leskinen were headed back to America. I meant that his time as tester was over.
そうだね
That's right. And then the professor was taking a moment to think it over. He wondered what there was to think about.
テスターはこのまま
And having continued being our tester.
思っているんだが
え本気ですか
Are you serious?
実際リンタロ
It's a fact that speaking with Tantala has caused Kurisi to react in new ways.
ないような
Correct.
反応をして見せているだろう今後は
And I'm planning on adding additional testers in the future.
もっと多く
Not
の
just him.
テスターを使っていきたいとも考え
セキュリティの
That's safe from a security standpoint?
アメリカと日
Japan and America are too far apart. If something happens, we won't be able to deal with it.
対処できません
大丈夫さ
It'll be fine.
私
I believe in Lintalo.
信じているからね
いや
It's not about whether you believe in him or not.
なくてですね
それに
He stays on as a tester.
継続すれば
You'll still be able to talk to him, you
だ
know.
って定期的にウィンターローと連絡を取れるよ
What?
私は
I
関係ないで
I don't have anything to do with this.
そうかい
Are you sure about that?
すそうですよ
I'm sure.
では
Then I'll take over dealing with Lentalo.
連絡は 私が直接取ることにしよ
別に
That doesn't bother me. It does seem like he wasn't telling her something, but she was too embarrassed to question him further. Surprised her, though, that he was so focused on Rintaro. He didn't have taken a real liking to him ever since they had first met. Did he simply like the guy, or was it because he was Karisa's friend? Was it something else? He didn't know. Next day, Maho and Dr. Leskinen returned to America via Narita Airport, just like they planned. I feel like something's gonna happen that's gonna prevent them from going back. Kao had come to see them off, and he was very surprised when Dr. Leskinen told him he would continue being a tester. He could continue being a tester. Back to Rintaro. Oop. Wait, what? Can I look back at the log after this happens? And then half a year passed? What? Do I want to continue? We went through a lot. We got a good 3-hour stream out of the bit. I don't know if I... Yeah, I think... Yeah. We'll stop here. I don't know if I'll be able... I will be able to stream tomorrow nights. I do not know about Tuesday nights, so... Oops. The Conrad University grounds were dead quiet. It was after 11 p.m. Yes, it was, actually. Thank you, game, for telling me. No, seriously, it's 11:03 p.m. Nope. There we go. Yeah, this game does like time jumping a lot. No pun intended. This game likes time jumping a lot, but oh, there's actually a button for full screen. Interesting. But I'm intrigued. I do not know where this is gonna go now, though. Especially when they just come out and say, then 6 months have passed. What has happened? You're gonna tell me nothing has happened in that time? Like, yeah? We're gonna go back in time and see what happened? Or are we just gonna skip 6 months and be like, yep, nothing of interest happened in that time? And Victor Conway University. We are still in Maho's perspective, I'm assuming. And 6 months later, she still is alive. I don't know. This gave me a lot of questions. But I think, yeah, we're gonna stop there. Otherwise, I'm not gonna end. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a fantastic rest of your nights. I'll be live with this again tomorrow. So look out for that. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye.